Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good morning, Madison and streamers everywhere. I'm Jesse Nelson. Sports Center brought to you by Ho Chunk Gaming Madison, home of smoke-free slots and the highest payout percentage in the area. Ho Chunk Gaming Madison, more spins, more wins, more fun. The Milwaukee Brewers with a chance to get their first sweep of the 2025 season this afternoon. The Brewers winners last night 4-3 over the Houston Astros at American Family Field. So the Brewers win last night, a chance to sweep the Astros this afternoon. 12:10 first pitch at American Family Field. Pre-game coverage starts just after 11:30 right here on Madison's home of the Brewers, 100.5 ESPN. Basketball, the NBA playoffs continue tonight on 100.5 ESPN. Tune in for Game 2 coverage in the Western Conference semifinals. The Denver Nuggets up 1-0 on the Oklahoma City Thunder. Pre-game coverage starts at 8. Tip at 8:30 for the Night Owls here on 100.5 ESPN. And football over at ESPNWisconsin.com. What to make of the Packers wide receivers as we get set for the 2025 season a few months away. Rob Domofsky outlines how Savion Williams and Matthew Golden could impact the Packers this year.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com. Three-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year, Jason Wilde.
There aren't any Jasons 12 and under. That's a dead name.
Packers Hall of Famer, Mark Tauscher.
How many kids do you hear, hey, Marky? It might be almost to the point of Ruth.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio.
You love that name so much, you don't even go by it.
On 100.5 ESPN.
If you call me Mark, I'm fine. I like my name. I like my name a lot.
The ESPN Wisconsin app.
Wilde and Tausch.
And ESPN Madison on YouTube.
It's Wilde and Touch, isn't it?
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Wednesday edition. It's a regular Wednesday. Bryan Bulaga is going to join us. Homer's going to join us. I'm sure nothing will go wrong edition. Speaking of going wrong, the nation's flight travel challenges continue, which may be affecting our little program right here edition. And look, we are immensely appreciative, thankful of all of our cousin subs. Cousin subs, we believe in better. Bulaga did it twice. Homer did it twice. We've had all kinds of great cousin subs over the many years we've been doing this show. And we will continue to need them. But it's always better when the big fella, old boy, is on the program. We'll challenge that theory today, though. Edition of Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, 100.5 ESPN Madison, 1430 ESPN P for Dam, ESPNWisconsin.com, the ESPN app, your Alexa smart speaker, streaming live video, Twitter, still working on Facebook, and YouTube, and, of course, everything you could possibly need on the all-new, all-redesigned, all-free, all-customizable your state, your teams, your ESPN, the new ESPN Wisconsin app. I'm Jason Wilde in Green Bay. Jesse Nelson is in the Everlight Solar ESPN Madison studios. And from the airport where that poor, beaten-down hotel reviewer at the end of Ocean's 13 wins like $30 million from the slot machines, I'm hoping That happens for old boy, and then he shares some with us. He's the Packers Hall of Famer. He is taking up residency in Las Vegas, almost to the degree that he did in Sonoma. He is Mark Tauscher. Tausch, good morning. It sounds like you're at the airport, which I don't think was supposed to be the plan for today.
So I am not at the airport. I wish I was at the airport.
Oh, no!
No.
You're not even there?
No, and I'm telling you, I'm trying to find somewhat of a quiet place where I got a big radio show I'm doing. People come to give in 2 rips at the hotel. But I found a beautiful little spot at a patisserie, Patisserie. Patisserie. It's like a bread joint. So it's
you're at a bread joint.
I thought it was going to be from the potato corridor.
No, I wish. Let me tell you something. I've learned a few things. For me, Las Vegas, 2-day max. I am a 2-day max guy. I am. I'm running on fumes. There is something about this place. You don't know. All of a sudden, you look and it's like 3 a.m, and then you can't sleep because you're on your time schedule. I just got kind of resituated from my last voyage. So then you get up and you have golf, and the golf this year started earlier. So I'm probably my per day sleep. Gary Brecka, who I've been following on Twitter, good health guy. He would not be happy with my sleep pattern. So
we'll have less sleep and we'll be grumpy.
Yeah, I'm not even grumpy, though. I'm just, worn out. I'm excited to be back on the show. I was hoping that I would be in Madison doing the show at like 9:15. That was originally my plan. The red eye situation didn't go well. It just didn't work. So I'm keeping a positive attitude, though, and I hope you can feel that.
I can.
That I'm keeping a positive attitude. So I'm still out in Las Vegas. I am hopefully going to be catching.
You sound delirious.
I'm struggling. Well, I am. I'm not gonna lie to you. I am. I don't know. At some point, if you don't hear me, it's not because there's a bad connection. It's because I have fallen asleep. So I am cranked up right now. I got a big old cup of mud, and I should be able to catch a flight. I have a noon operation here, which I think is, or no, I don't even know what time. I know I have to be out of here.
Don't miss it. If it takes off, don't miss it.
That is the plan.
Please don't stay longer.
Yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at. The trip has been great. Badger Desert Classic was fun. The golf was fun. The alumni, we had a great time. And I am only doing 2 days, though, from now on. 2 days and out, because I don't know what they do out here. They say they pump oxygen in. Jesse, you love a good casino, too.
They pump oxygen in?
Yeah, there's something. The lighting and the fact that there's no clocks.
Yeah, no clocks is big.
And the other thing is, I'm convinced there is some type of an oxidational deal that they keep the air and it's just fresher, and it makes you think that it's constantly early. Like, I think that's what happens. So I don't know if that's where if I'm just making stuff up.
No windows when you're in the casino, so you can't tell what time it is or if it's dark or light out.
Thank you, Jesse.
Yeah.
I feel like Jesse's understanding where I'm at. And then, I'm not going to lie to you, the house always wins. We all know that. But I got into something last night.
Oh, dear.
I thought,
Oh, God.
No, I thought, what on earth? Why would the house do this? So I sit down. We're having a dinner before I was supposed to catch a flight, and it just didn't work. I sit down to play blackjack, and you know how it is. There's like little promos and different things at different tables and whatnot. So I just
Green
think I'm sitting down to
Goblins.
I think I'm sitting down just to play a game, and all of a sudden they're throwing these gold coins at me as I'm playing, and I'm like, "Oh, this is cool. It's free." What do you mean? Nothing is, as I tell my kids, nothing is free. There's things included, but nothing is free in life. There's a game, blackjack, that you play that if you get a 9, 10, or 11, or a pair, they throw you a gold coin, and then you have to throw deuces B up, slam the table with your fist, and they give you a free card. That's the code that they do. So I'm doing this. It's going great. Do a nice job. And I'm thinking to myself, I tell the people I'm at dinner with, I don't understand what they're doing. This is so good, because I was getting a lot of pairs, and I was getting a lot of 9, 9, 2.
They're having a lucky night.
So I'm like, this is awesome. we got to go play after dinner. And I go back, and this never comes up, and I only play, again, this is how you win. You have to have a finite time, and then you got to get out. Dinner reservation, 8 o'clock, boom, 7:30 start. You got to get out in 30 minutes. When you can play all night, so the trick to this, and, I like to think I'm a somewhat smart guy. Maybe not today, but most days I'm a smart guy.
I agree.
The dealer gets to go to 22.
Oh,
what am I doing?
No.
Wait, where was that piece of
What?
information in the
No.
gold coins, Mario?
They literally never hit 22. They were busting like 24, 25, 20, whatever it was. I didn't even know. And I got this other guy sitting next to me. He's putting chips down on my bet, which I'm like, can they do this? Like, what? The whole thing was like Willy Wonka. And then I come to the realization that the chocolate went bad. And it went bad quick because this 22 is a huge advantage to the house, and it's idiotic to play. I ain't doing it anymore, but it was too late. I was hooked.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, it's I'm like, well, it was good 30 minutes ago. It was good at before dinner. So I learned some lessons. I learned some lessons in life on this trip, and one of them is make sure you know what the heck you're playing before you sign up, and anything that's too good is too good for a reason. I learned that last night.
So, if I may, briefly.
Absolutely, you may.
Because I agree with you. You're not getting schnookered. You're not getting scammed. You're a smart guy. The Nigerian princes aren't getting you. Do you think
Jason,
this was...
Here's the deal. I've been schnookered. I've gotten schnookered a couple times. I ended up... I'm not even going to get into it. I had the 3-card Monty at Mardi Gras when I was in college. Is one of the all-time schnookerings. I still
put that on the list, Jesse.
3-card Monty in New Orleans.
Yeah, and there was a casino that just opened in the Dominican. That there's like a ladle that they're pulling balls out, and I thought I couldn't lose.
A ladle.
Yeah. It was with Sarah's aunt, and that was a real tough beat. So I have been schnookered. So I just want to make sure it's kind of where I'm at. All right.
Well, my understanding of the legend of Tausch is that you don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe very often. Yeah. I am a little surprised that someone who is so savvy, though, would not know the rules of engagement before kind of getting, neck deep in this crazy throw some coins, dealer could go to 22 wackiness that you encountered. And I'm just wondering if maybe, just maybe,
look, Jason,
your senses are dulled by the fact that you're exhausted.
No doubt. I have not gotten any sleep. So that part is fair. But there is something about sitting somewhere and people firing gold coins at you that's enticing. It's kind of intoxicating. And then you get free cards and you're getting free doubles and the chips are stacking up and you just think, this is sick. This is sweet. And then I'm explaining it to the people we're having dinner with and they're getting excited about it. And then when we get there, and we find out that when they get to 22, they don't bust. All of that goes away. Those gold coins get real quick, and that's what happened. So yeah, I did. I think I'm going to say I got schnookered because the odds for the
sure
house
sounds like
obviously are a lot better. Yeah, it was a lot better. So idiotic play by Old T last night.
All right.
Can you even afford the bread you're at the?
Well, I just wanted to say, good question. It is a patisserie, and per
French.
pipe Jim, it is French, and the bread should be excellent there. So, I know you're not big on carbs. You're a big protein guy.
To be,
but do yourself a favor, get a little bread during one of the commercial breaks before you leave. So we've got you till 11 Central, we think.
Yeah,
is that
and
correct?
That's 9 o'clock out here.
So it's 7:12
Unless
now.
there's more issues
How
in
about
Newark,
this?
in which case we might have them the whole show.
Hopefully I'm not connecting through Newark. Yeah, I don't know how I woke up for my hit with Jason, by the way. Thank you for subbing in for me with Vinny and the boys. I set my alarm. I don't know what I don't know why I don't understand this. I do my hit at 7:51. You do the hit when you set you. So I set the thing, and I'm thinking, okay, I set it for 6:50, but I would have been late.
Yeah, an
Luckily,
hour
the
late.
Luckily, the phone ringing woke me up. Otherwise,
can we get the audio? Can we get the audio from TMJ, from Vince Vetrano and Eric Bilstead and Greg Hill to hear what Groggy Tausch sounds like when Greg Hill pancake wakes him up?
You can. I'm sure that's available on.
Hey guys, great to be with you.
Golden's gonna be good.
Actually, how did you know that's what I said? Because that is what I was talking about. I do think Golden's going to be good. Golden Coins, not good. Matthew Golden, good.
Pella, great.
Oh, indeed it is. There is no better time to upgrade your windows and doors than right now, because Pella is offering up to 6 years and 0% financing. Set your free in-home consultation. You can commit to nothing at this point, just like I am with my flights and getting home. They'll listen to your vision and suggest the Pella materials and customizations to make it a reality. Get 0% financing for up to 6 years. Certain restrictions do apply, and this deal ends May 31st. So visit PellaWI.com today to learn more.
Bryan Bulaga, we can't get enough of him on this show. He's so smart, so insightful, and better rested than the regular host of the program. He is scheduled to appear next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Mark Tauscher here for Chalmers Jewelers. I've been a big fan of Scott, Garrett, and the whole team at Chalmers Jewelers for years now. I go there, my friends go there, and most importantly, my wife loves it whenever I get her something from Chalmers Jewelers. It's my go-to spot for birthdays, anniversaries, and any special occasion. For quality jewelry and a great experience, choose Chalmers Jewelers, the place to go for that perfect gift. Stop at Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton and Madison.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
and Madison.
Get ready for the ultimate Saturday night at Hard Rock Casino Rockford. Join us for the all-new Queen of Hearts drawing at 4, 6, 8, and 10 p.m. This is your chance for royal glory. When your name is drawn, choose the right card and you could win a life-changing jackpot, up to $150,000. The longer the Queen stays hidden, the bigger the jackpot grows. Let's Hard Rock with the Queen of Hearts only at Hard Rock Casino Rockford. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or text ILGAMB to 833-234.
When you're in the right place at the right time, things get done. The important things, like knowing what you need and how it all works. Talking truck. Fixing it right the first time. At Zimbrick Chevrolet, our people get it done right and now. That's how you know you're in the right place at the right time. And you'll never overpay at Zimbrick Chevrolet.
The 2015 Wisconsin men's hoops team gave us all a march to remember.
There will be no undefeated champion on Wisconsin with an unbelievable stretch drive to the championship game.
On June 26th, enjoy an intimate celebration with the stars of the run with Made 'em Believe. Presented by M3 Insurance. World-class expertise and individual attention. Tickets are on sale now at uwhoops2015.com. Made 'em Believe, June 26th at the Orpheum Theater in Madison.
Carbless ready-to-drink cocktails are here for your flawless summer. Hey, it's Brad Nortman. Drinking Carbless and watching the crew is already a win, but now that combination is about to get a whole lot better. Carbless is offering you a sweet night at the ballpark. Your chance to win 14 tickets with food and drinks included to the July 26th game is just one shopping trip away. From now until the end of May, head to your local retailer and scan the QR code to register for your chance to win this amazing prize. A flawless summer night at the ballpark awaits.
Oh my gosh, Allie, did you look at Janet's roof? Ugh, it's like so flat. It looks like one of those roofing contractor commercials.
Who even understands those roofing guys anyways?
I like flat roofs and I cannot lie. You other contractors can't deny. TPO way up high. I'm hooked and I can't stop staring.
If you want a roof that's worth staring at, Avondale Roofing is where you go. Your roofing experts for over 30 years. AvondaleRoofing.com.
The GRB Rays have established themselves as one of the top baseball programs in the Midwest and the country. GRB Academy offers training programs for players of all ages and skill levels. Learn from some of the best baseball coaches in the area and find the program that fits your training goals and your schedule. Spots are filling up fast, so visit grbacademy.com to sign up now. That's grbacademy.com. GRB Academy, baseball for the serious player.
Mark Tauscher here for Pizza Hut, where Cheesy Bites Pizza is back right now. For just $13.99, you get a large pizza with 28 pullable, poppable, cheese-filled bites. And even better, it comes with the Ranch Lovers Flight, featuring 3 bold new dips: Ultimate Ranch, Chipotle Ranch, and Pepperoni Ranch. 1 large pizza, 3 dips, endless flavor. Hurry in or order online today at pizzahut.com. Only at Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
The Milwaukee Brewers, the Houston Astros.
Breaking ball hammered deep, right center field, way back, at the track, no ball, goodbye!
Today on 100.5 ESPN.
I've got some famous friends you probably never heard of, but back in Rutherford County, our crowd is second to none. You might not know.
Over the last 6 days, I think I've talked to this guy more than I've talked to Paula. He's cousin subbed twice. Now he's on again. And we couldn't be luckier. It is our famous friend and our top line, just like he replaced Tausch during that 2010 Super Bowl season. Our number 1 ranked cousin sub of the day, cousin subs, we believe in better. It is Bryan Bulaga. Bryan, good morning. Hello again, my friend. Are you sick of us yet?
Nah, it's good to see you. Tausch, are you in the airport?
No, I wish I was in the airport. I'm in the hotel patisserie, just trying to do the show as I'm waiting to go to the airport to hopefully get home sometime today.
Oh, man, once you're stuck in Vegas, it's tough.
Blue, are you a Vegas guy? Because I'm 2 days. 2 days is all I need. It's all I want. It's all I need. And I'm double and a little bit more than double that as we sit here. And I don't need to be here this long.
Woo. Yeah, I mean, Vegas is 2-day max. It's 2-day max. And you got to catch that early flight out after 2 days. Like, you got to get out of there at like 6 a.m. You got to get out.
Or maybe a red eye. If it actually leaves.
Yeah, I keep thinking red eyes because it sounds great. You stay up and then you just roll right over to the airport. Then you'll sleep on the plane and everything else will go. The problem is, like, heading back, if you need to get back, which I hopefully will for a baseball game that I'm supposed to coach.
Oh, God. Those poor children.
Yeah, it's a frustrating deal.
Play down the butt! What's the matter with you?
Staying positive. It's a positive vibes only day for me. You try to do that because otherwise, if you do that 6 a.m. flight, you probably are going to struggle because then that's a whole nother story. I'm not going to bore you with flight plans, but the red eye sounds great on the surface. Don't book it.
Hard to recover from.
I continue to tell myself not to, but I continue to do it because I think this time is going to be the great time, and unfortunately, that's not the case.
Bryan, I am curious. So Tausch has, there was the time that he took up residency in Sonoma for about 2 months.
That was a great run. That was
by design, though. This was not. What's your worst stranded on a trip story that you've endured? Like Paula and the girls and I, on one trip, we had all kinds of travel problems getting back, and they were still pretty little. And so whenever you travel with little people and then the schedule gets messed up, that can be a bit of a stressor. But I don't know if I've ever had one where it's just me trying to get back from Vegas, and I'm in a bread shop in the hotel, still hoping I can get home in time for a baseball game. And, oh, by the way, a big show tomorrow at the Rockford Hard Rock Casino tomorrow. So we're hoping Tausch makes it back.
Oh, God, I got to drive with him? Oh, no.
Well, if he doesn't get back, Jesse, you don't have to drive with him.
Yeah. Oh, man, that'll be a fun trip, Jesse. That'll be a fun drive.
Good luck.
That'll be fun.
So what's your, do you have one, Bryan, where you ran into these types of challenges? Because it seems to be happening more and more of late.
Yeah, I mean, there was I was out in Pittsburgh, And you wouldn't think it'd be that bad of Pittsburgh to Florida, right? It's on the same coast. Got delayed in Pittsburgh. Stayed there for about 7-8 hours past my original flight time. Obviously, that stinks. So that means I missed my connection in Atlanta. So definitely missed that connection. Eventually, we leave Pittsburgh. So we fly down to Atlanta. So that means I got to stay the night in Atlanta. So that means I leave the airport. This was for a golf trip, too. So that means I got to get my golf clubs, leave the airport, go check into a hotel somewhere at the airport hotel, stay there, come back in, the next morning thinking I'm going to catch the early flight to Sarasota. Well, that's sold out, obviously. Why wouldn't it be sold out? So there I am just sitting, waiting for a standby, which makes me paranoid, being a standby. And I sit in the Sarasota or in the Atlanta airport till 5 o'clock till all day, finally getting on one of the last flights out of Atlanta. So where I should have been home a full day prior, I spend a full day in Atlanta eating hotel or airport food, doing nothing. And it makes it, just thinking about that experience gives me the heebie-jeebies. I was so mad, fuming. It just, I don't know how many different airlines I went to that flew into Sarasota. Do you guys have a seat available? Do you have a seat available? Do you have a seat available? Nope, sold out. Just would do anything, would pay anything to get on one seat. I'll sit in the middle for the hour and a half. I don't care. I just want to get home. I know my golf clubs are on the Delta, or with Delta, don't care. They'll get to Sarasota eventually, and I'll pick them up. Do not care at this point. But, nope. All sold out.
Well, hopefully Tausch he allegedly has a ticket, so we will hopefully get him here. It is funny, we ended up on the subject of travel with Warren Brinson, who is the Packers' 6th-round pick from Georgia, who is from the Atlanta area. So he's I hadn't taken a connecting flight since I was in high school. And so connections for people that are in Green Bay, this is total normal travel experiences. You're surprised when you get a direct flight. So we were happy to inform Warren that there is an early morning one flight that goes back and forth to Atlanta. And he's unhappy with Matt Klein for booking him on one that had a connection. So good start to his career. All right, we've got Bryan Bulaga here. We've got Tausch in his patisserie, or whatever we call this bread shop that he's in at his hotel.
Haven't heard from him in a couple minutes. You awake, old T?
Hey.
I'm still rolling, baby. You know it. Still rolling.
Did you guys?
How much NIL money did you raise for the program this weekend?
Great
this
question.
week?
We did a good job. We did good. We're ready to finally get back after Iowa. I'm not going to make any bold proclamations because that's not where I'm at, but we needed a weekend. We needed a week like this, or a month, however I want to put it, down here in Vegas to get this thing going. And we got it.
It felt like a month.
Oh, it feels like a month. A big month.
Tausch, do you have any questions for Bryan that you can catch a quick cat nap while he's answering during?
Yeah, absolutely. So I missed Monday and Tuesday being out in Las Vegas trying to beat the Iowa Hawkeyes. Did Jason make any proclamations about any of these rookies that are his guy, other than, the kid that had the great coming out, the 4th-round pick?
Yeah, Baron Sorrell, his dad is in the YouTube comments on a regular basis on our show, yes.
I love that. Any spindly, any comments that tripped your trigger as far as Jason's observations from the rookies this weekend?
Well, nothing, because what Jason said from the rookie, essentially the rookie individual periods, they didn't do anything. Yeah, they didn't do anything.
Oh boy. So this was the problem. Now, I could have, had it been Christian Watson's class, I still could have recognized him as wiry, not spindly. But all they did were individual drills, and Bryan was blown away by that. There was, as I mentioned, the Canadian quarterback that was the only quarterback in camp or in the practice, did not throw a single pass to Matthew Golden or Savion Williams. He threw passes to Sean Mannion and to Luke Getsy. That was it. And into nets. The receivers did not catch a pass from a quarterback. They did a little bit of getting off the line of scrimmage with their release, and then they caught some balls from Jason Vrabel. So I don't know. You were in a different era where you came in and the veterans were just there, right? And then Mike McCarthy had the rookie orientation camps, so Brian got to get all the rookies and tryout guys, and then the vets. These guys, this was like a trip to Disney World. They barely had to do anything. They did some walkthroughs where I'm sure they went through some of the playbook. Tausch, does that surprise you that would be the approach?
It does, it does, but it doesn't, because this is the new era. And I mean, for me, it was you're going. Like, there was no warming up period. It was, hey, here's Vonnie Holiday. He's going to come full tilt. There's no pads on. You don't really know the tempo yet, but just figure it out. And then it's trying to figure out the playbook. And I can remember, I think I told this, Cliffy and I were rooming together at the old Motor Lodge down in Green Bay. And we had to get there early as rookies to go. It was just me and him, and we're going through the playbook, and we're trying to figure it out. And then we're doing all this drills. We're doing reps with the 2s and the 3s. And then we do it, and we did that twice. We did a morning and then an afternoon. And then we tried to, study the book because we had the next day install for Saturday. And I just remember being completely exhausted like I am now, but from a physical standpoint, not from a sleep deprivation standpoint. And I think there's something to kind of pushing guys a little bit early to get an idea of where they're at. And I think in a perfect world, you do it this way, where you give these guys a little grace. That grace was not what I recall going to rookie camp as a wiry young man in 2000.
All right, you were never wiry. Let's be honest here. All right, so
that's fair.
I
meant to say wired. I was.
You're not.
I didn't know we were going to have the word police here when I'm dealing with 6 hours of sleep in 7 days. But I get you, Jason. You got it.
Yeah, that one's on me. No corrections today. Be that as it may, I'm assuming, and then we can spend some more time with Brian. I'm assuming that you enjoyed 1 or 2 or maybe more than that Coors Lights during your time not getting any sleep in Las Vegas.
Yeah, I'm actually thinking about having one right now. Coors Light brewed with that 3-step cold process: cold lagered, cold packaged, and cold filtered. Man, it is made to chill. And you know what? I made sure those mountains are blue. That's when I know Coors Light's bottles and cans are cold activated and chilled to perfection. Celebrate responsibly. I have done that. Coors Light, Golden, Colorado.
More with Bryan Bulaga.
What are you laughing about?
If you have to say you did responsibly, I don't know, it makes it more suspicious.
That's very fair.
The thing about Las Vegas is you're pretty much forced to, and you should. You're going to celebrate responsibly when you're out here. That's just how it is.
Yes, because when I think of Las Vegas, Nevada, the first thing I think of is people behaving responsibly.
Yep. I don't know if there's another city in our union that you would be, I would say, that ain't your town. I would say Las Vegas and New Orleans would be the two. I'd say, Jason, you're good. You don't need to go.
Great food, great shows, some other stuff that maybe isn't up my alley. All right, more with Bryan Bulaga, our cousins. Well, he's not a cousin some of the day-to-day. He's been a lot lately. But if Tausch falls asleep at his bread shop, he might be. More Wilde and Tausch straight ahead. Stick around.
The NBA playoffs continue on ESPN Radio. The Denver Nuggets win Game 1 in Oklahoma City. Can they make it 2 straight? Game 2 of the Thunder and Nuggets. Coverage begins today at 9 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app. Presented by Indeed.
Baseball is back. Bryan Bulaga here to bring you a proud partner of the Milwaukee Brewers. Surfside Iced Tea and Vodka and Surfside Lemonade and Vodka. A delicious and perfect pairing for a day at the ballpark. Stocked at American Family Field all season long. Surfside is only 100 calories per serving, and the best part, 0 bubbles. Ask for it at your local bar or liquor store. Surfside, an official partner of the Milwaukee Brewers. Must be 21 years of age. Please drink responsibly.
Your Pella experience starts with a free in-home consultation.
It was a really comfortable kitchen table chat. We knew Pella was going to get it right the first time, and they designed a project with us. They didn't just replace our windows and doors.
There are so many options that are available, so it was nice to have someone narrow those down, and they made sure that the design was what we wanted.
Don't wait. Get 0% financing for up to 6 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply. It's 5/31/2025.
Since J&K Security Solutions opened in 1987, our attention to detail and customer service have been our strongest assets. I'm President Jeffrey Beckman. We'll always do our best to find the most efficient and cost-effective solution to every job we tackle. Whether it's security for your home or business, installing video surveillance, or being able to control your garage doors from your phone, we can help you feel empowered with simple and user-friendly technology. Let's work together to secure your home or business. jksecurity.com.
The UW Credit Union member Mark Tauscher here. People ask me, old T, why did you join UW Credit Union? Well, is it to keep your banking local? Is it the member first service? Great perks like early payday? Absolutely. But honestly, between us, it's Bucky. I can't say no to that face. If you love Wisconsin like I do, you just can't pay with anything else. Fandom makes us do crazy things, but this just makes sense. Become a UW Credit Union member and get your Bucky card like me. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
The area's best high school sports coverage is Zimbrick Honda's presentation of Prep Mania.
NIL is coming to high school sports in Wisconsin. Head over to the ESPN Wisconsin app if you missed any of last week's interview with the executive director of the WIAA, Stephanie Hauser. She gives a full explanation of what NIL will look like and the misconceptions that come with NIL. Again, you can listen back to the full interview on the all-new ESPN Wisconsin app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Wild Rock Golf in the Wisconsin Dells, a must-play every golf season. Wild Rock Golf features championship golf in the heart of Wisconsin. Wild Rock, a Herdston Fry masterpiece that's cut from the natural beauty of the Wisconsin Dells and offers stunning views from elevated tee boxes. Wild Rock presents spectacular greens that roll fast and true. Wild Rock Golf in the Wisconsin Dells, a unique gem that offers a challenge to avid golfers of all abilities. Book your tee time today for this must-play at wildrockgolf.com, wildrockgolf.com.
Ben Brust here to tell you about the Princeton Club. If you're looking for a place where you can better yourself while having a wonderful atmosphere, you have it at the Princeton Club. Strong communities, strong body, and strong mind. All it takes is one small step to start today. You will see that you have everything you need in order to achieve all of your goals. Find your better tomorrow at the Princeton Club. 8 Madison locations where you go in there, you take a tour, and you realize this is a place for me. Find more at PrincetonClub.net.
It started with a prediction.
Gonna go out there and play basketball and win.
And how many games?
6.
It became the culture.
Chance of Bucks in 6.
Being a Bucks fan means you live and breathe Bucks in 6. Brandon Jennings created the prophecy. Tune into Behind the Bucks, the story of Brandon Jennings on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and streaming wherever you get your podcasts.
That's for the culture.
Bryan Bulaga on Wilde and Tausch is brought to you by Surfside. Surfside iced tea and vodka and Surfside lemonade and vodka. It's light, refreshing, and has 0 bubbles. It's perfect for a day on the golf course or a day at American Family Field. Cheers to Surfside.
I've got some famous friends you probably never heard of, but back in Rutherford County, our crowd is second to none. You might not know them here in this big city we're
Continuing with Bryan Bulaga, live from his home in Florida, and with Mark Tauscher, live from a bread shop inside his hotel in Las Vegas as he works his way home. Bryan, one of the things that we didn't get to, and then we'll see what Tausch wants to find out from you if he stays awake at his table. We didn't spend a whole lot of time talking about the 2 offensive linemen that the Packers drafted. Anthony Belton, who was the 2nd-round pick, mammoth tackle fellow out of NC State, and 7th-round pick John Williams out of Cincinnati, who was recruited by Luke Fickell to the Bearcats program and played for him, who also is an aerospace engineer graduate. So he's literally a rocket scientist. which will be very interesting to see how that helps or doesn't help his taking in the playbook and learning the plays. He says that being smart helps you. You know that as well. I'm curious, though. They are both really big dudes. Not that you weren't a big dude. You're a big dude, too. But you take those two picks, you take Aaron Banks. Do you think there has been a, pardon the pun, changing of the guard on this offensive line as they get bigger and bigger and bigger?
Yeah, I mean, I think that, and we kind of talked about this a little bit too, but I think there's a shift in mindset of what they want this group to look like up front, and kind of a mentality change of where they want to go with this run game and how they want it to look. And I think because of how good Jacobs was last year with a lot of the principles they were doing in the run game with the duo and downhill run scheme and a lot of tight inside zone type run game, that's the body style that they got with those types of guys. I mean, Banks, monster human being, obviously. Belton, monster human being. And then obviously I'm blanking on the 7th round pick's name.
John
Williams.
Forgettable
Williams,
name.
Yeah. I mean, no, it's not. I should know that. But I got a name. I said Williams. Another really big guy. So, like, you look at kind of the direction they're going, and they're kind of looking, or it seems like they're going towards the bigger-bodied offensive lineman. Now, like you said, it wasn't like when I was there or like when Tausch was there, we were small by any stretch of the imagination, but we certainly didn't have a guy that was over 320 pounds. Like, we just didn't. Like, we were all from that. Maybe TJ, if he ate heavy that week, he would be 320. Like, right? Like, seriously. Like, and that's just being honest. But, like, TJ was like a 315 guy. Like, we were all 315 and under. Like, that's where we played at. And we were never 330. Like, that's just where we were at. Maybe Tausch. I don't know where Tausch's guys were at with Flanny and Rivera and those guys. But, like, they weren't the 335, 340, category either. I mean, Cliffy was a big guy, but he was never like that. I don't think so. So,
well,
like, you're seeing this.
If we were out in Vegas for a week or two,
well, depends. But it kind of looks, and Tausch, you can tell me if I'm wrong. It seems like, and I hope they don't get away from the LaFleur model of what he's really good at, which is the outside zone and setting teams up with this stretch outside zone, which I mean, Banks is from that school of thought, right? Like, that's the Shanahan scheme, is the stretch outside zone. Like, that's the bread and butter. I mean, he comes from that scheme, so he knows how to run that scheme. But it seems like this Philly mindset of giant human beings up front and hiding backs as long as you can is, like, kind of what is being done. And, like, to me, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm definitely not saying it's a bad thing, but it just seems that seems to be the shift. And whether or not I'm right about that, I don't know, but I could just say this. There wasn't many guys that are that size that were being drafted in my time there. It just wasn't a thing.
So, Blue, how much of that do you think comes back to what that playoff game looked like against Philly? Because they're always, the old copycat league bit. That's a cliche, and teams will say, "This is how Philadelphia won. We want to win a championship." But I really think that Elton Jenkins injury and how the offense looked, it set a major red flags for everybody up there, because Matt LaFleur has done things a certain way. Last year with Josh Jacobs, they shifted. We discussed that ad nauseum and what that looked like. And the idea that you're going to, part of the outside zone is all of that marrying up. Josh Jacobs likes being on a gun. He likes to do it. There's a lot of stuff that is now almost like you're adapting to where you're at. And Philly did it with these big guys, and Green Bay got punked. They got bully balled by Philly's defense. And they're looking at it saying, we're not interested in just making the playoffs and being a 7 seed. We need to be able to we need to be able to play bully ball too. because in order to get through the NFC now, Philly ain't going anywhere. Detroit, their defensive line, nobody. If you want to win against the big boys, you got to be able to play bully ball, and I don't think they thought they could, and that's why they're bringing a couple bullies in to kind of reset that mindset. That's at least how I look at it.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. What happened? What happened in Philly when Elton went out? I think for sure sent off the alarm bells, right? Like that definitely sent off the alarm bells. Yeah, I mean that definitely sent off the alarm bells, and obviously, I mean, you know this, Tausch. Like when you lose a guy, right, a starting guy, a high quality guy, and you bring in a backup, there's obviously going to be some drop in play, right? Like I mean, that's just inevitable, no matter what, right? Like I mean, but what happened was enormous, right? And then what incurred was obviously Philly's D-line doing whatever they wanted, right? And they at least interior wise, they did whatever they wanted. And obviously in Green Bay this offseason going to get Banks, and then they get Belton, and then Goody says Belton's not competing for the left tackle job, which then tells me he's going to be competing for an interior job, which then tells me that's right tackle, because he's obviously not competing for the left guard spot. I mean, right guard, excuse me, because he's not competing for the left guard spot with Banks. So you're right. They are looking to get bigger and more, I guess, like you could say, bully ball interior of that offensive line to combat that situation, right? To combat the Phillies, combat the Detroit, defensive lines and the bigger groups up front. Because the NFL goes through these patterns and changes every 5 or 6 years, I feel like. Like the NFL constantly changes in the body types and the style of play, and this is where we're at right now, right? Like this is it. This is the flavor. And you have to be able to adapt and change to it. And I'm going to tell you what, like if you're able to get these large human beings, right, to run LaFleur's scheme and hide Jacobs for that long, and Jacobs is able to make a cut and go vertical, it's going to be devastating to defenses because they're not going to be able to see Jacobs. And then by the time he explodes through the line of scrimmage and he's onto a linebacker or a safety, he's already 5 yards down the field like Saquon is. And that's scary stuff, man, because those backs, when they get to the open space and no one's touched them and they got a full head of steam, you don't want to see them with that head of steam and all that room to operate. So I'm hoping, while I know Jacobs loves the downhill scheme and he loves the duo because he's so good at jump cutting and finding open space, I still hope that they get back to LaFleur's bread and butter principles because it is so good with the play action and how it marries. So that's what I hope still.
And the question I have is, because you can have all that, and the idea of road graders, I mean, there were road graders on our teams that played, but the league is still going to be about athleticism and getting up on the next level in that outside zone game or getting up on the linebackers. But Josh Sitton said it best. You can run the football, you can do all that, but offensive linemen are paid to protect the quarterback. And when you get these mauler types and you end up having a franchise quarterback, and this is what's unique about Green Bay, it was always, if you can't pass protect, you can't play. Period. Fin.
Yep.
If you're a running back and you don't know the protections and you aren't going to be out there, you're not going to be out there when it's passing and it's that time. So that is going to be the interesting part. When you go to this, you go big, you go physical. Can you protect the quarterback? Because Jordan Love is $55 million in. You better still be able to do that. And I think that's going to be the process as you watch some of these battles unfold. Yeah, it's going to be great. You get a couple of big, pancake blocks and they're firing pancakes at the screen on ESPN. That's all great. But can you protect Jordan Love when the money's on the table? Because I still believe that's going to be the determining factor.
That's right. Sitton always said it. Run block for show, pass block for dough. And you're at the end of the day, like, you're not running the ball on 3rd down and 8. You're just not doing it. You're pass blocking. And who makes the most money on the team? Who are you protecting? The guy behind you. And that's just what it is.
So does that
Blue? Do you think that Belton is he going to have a shot? And I know we haven't seen him. He's done some individual stuff, but Is there a chance he unseats Sean Ryan?
I think they're going to give him a chance. I think they're going to give him every chance, is what it appears, right? Like, I mean, that's what it seems like. And again, like, Sean Ryan, I mean, the guy, he's battle tested. He's done this, I feel like, every year. Like, and it's the same thing with Sheed, right? Like, they go into it and they have to be, they have to be ready to compete for their job. And I'm not saying that is a bad thing for the team. That is a really good thing for the team. I look at it from the individual standpoint, right? Because, like, I understand the battle mentality of it for the individual. Like, it's a rough business, right? Like, it just is. Like, but I feel like this is going to be a camp battle. There's going to be 2 camp battles going on the offensive line. It's going to be the right guard and it's going to be the left tackle. And that's going to be 2 major spots to look at throughout camp. So for sure, yeah. I definitely think.
I think, Jason, that last season, while everything was about wide receivers and Jordan Love's injury and is Jeff Hafley's defense, you know how you kind of get caught up in storylines, and obviously the offseason we do this a bunch. I think the biggest underreported or not talked about issue was the O-line, and it was a blind spot, I believe, from a media standpoint, and you saw it. And the reason this urgency talk and why it kind of irritated me, Goody wasn't being urgent. Goody felt the DEFCON urgency was the guys up front. And just because we didn't feel that or think that, that's what they felt. And that's what they've addressed in the biggest way on this football team. And they know that they need to be that much better. And I don't think as a group, and I could even put us in that, I think we all thought Josh Myers struggled. I think this is pretty much a referendum that almost everybody on that group struggled last year. It was not good enough, and they're not going to just stand pat and expect it to get better. They went and made moves to do that.
All right, so let me devil's advocate you on that, though. And, Brian, you watch the film every week, and you don't pull punches, right? I mean, look, Josh Myers is a great dude, right? We really like him, and he overcame a lot last year. He lost his dad in training camp. He had some injury issues he played through. He tore his pec on Thanksgiving and played the rest of the season. He is not one of the great centers. He's not Jason Kelsey. We all get it. Otherwise, he would have had a bunch of suitors, and instead he ended up with the Jets on basically a backup deal, right? 1 year, I think $3.5 million is what he got. So I get that. But is it possible that watching the Philadelphia Eagles run roughshod over them after having their best offensive lineman leave with a stinger after 4 plays, that maybe this is possibly a little bit of an overcorrection? Because for me anyway, if Jordan Morgan was dealing with that shoulder injury from training camp on, so let's see what he looks like now, if he looks like a first-round pick. But you're telling me that a group that had their quarterback get sacked only 14 times, that had a running back who had 1,300-plus yards and 15 touchdowns, for a group that when there were times where they had the chance to run out the clock, they did it. Are you telling me they were that bad? I don't think they were as good, and they had a lot of continuity because a lot of guys played a lot of snaps together. I think they were the second most by an offensive line to play the starting 5 together. But Brian, did you see them being that bad? And I know what Tausch is thinking, because I think about it all the time too. Rob Domofsky wanting to do a positive story about the offensive line, and Matt LaFleur absolutely pooping on it from the podium. That does not happen very often. Usually coaches just go along with the narrative so you can write a nice little story, and he said, no way. Basically, they haven't been that good. So you're the one who watches the film with the knowledge of an offensive lineman. That is way more than I have. Were they that bad? Can you say that now on May 7th when you didn't necessarily say it on November 7th or December 7th?
Yeah, I mean, like I'm not changing my description of them.
Yes.
Like I'm not changing it. Like I'm not changing my tune. I think, and here's the thing. Like Tausch is correct. Like Myers, like what I've stated from the beginning of this season till the end of the season, like Myers upgraded his play. That's what I've stated from the beginning to the end of it. Now, where that standard is to what the Packers wanted or to what the rest of the league wanted, that's not my job to judge that. What I've said, how he's played this year compared to years past, was better. And I think I'll go over that with anybody, and I'll feel great about going over the tape with that with anybody. But if we go and we look at individually these guys and how they played as a unit, I don't look at it as they played poorly. I think there were games, and I think where LaFleur gets irritated is in the games against Detroit, in the games against Minnesota, there were quarters and times where they struggled. And he doesn't like that, okay? So, like, we're looking at certain games, and we're talking big games, right? Obviously, big moments and big games where this group kind of struggled at times. And you can't have that from this group. Like, you just can't, because in these situations, you're going to need your quarterback to perform, and obviously your running back, because that was a lot of this offense last year. And you can't have the guys up front struggle in moments of the game. They need to be kind of workhorses for you and be a point of solidarity and work as one and be a consistent. And they weren't in those situations. So that's where I think his frustration was. I don't think it was an overall standpoint for that group. But the moves that they made obviously stem from the Philly game. That was a big one. Obviously, the Philly game was a big move. I think another one, just like the wide receiver group, it stems from the contract situations that are happening in that offensive line room. 3 guys up this year, right? You have to make moves. You have to regroup this offensive line because contractually you cannot re-sign all of them. So there's another move. And I think also, as Tausch mentioned, they want to be able to play a little bit of bully ball. They want to be able to have that mentality, and they want to compete or have these guys compete for those jobs to be able to, if they need to, do that up front. Now, how those jobs shake out, right? Like, can Belton beat out Sean Ryan, or is Jordan Morgan going to beat out Sheed? I don't know. I don't know how that's going to play out, right? Like, I mean, but obviously both those guys have that opportunity, or going to have that opportunity to do that. But by no means did like Sean Ryan play bad. Like I will stand on that hill. Like I'm not gonna I'm not saying like no, I'm not gonna go there. Rashid, I said it in the beginning of the season. He struggled in the beginning of the season. I think he got better as the season went on. I thought Zach Tom, I think as the season got later in the season, Zach Tom struggled a little bit, and I think because of his pec, he struggled towards the end of the season. And like, so I think the way I watched the film and how I looked at it, I think I was pretty accurate with how I looked at these guys. But I'm not going to sit here now in May because of how they drafted and who they brought in from a money standpoint, be like, they played bad. Nope, I'm not doing it.
So
like,
let me ask you this then, because one of the things that I'm always leery of as a reporter is I don't ever want to assume things, right? We know what happens when you assume. But for me, and look, I get to work with 2 of the all-time great offensive linemen in Packers history. And they also write my stories for me when I'm writing about Zach Tom, and they both talk so glowingly about him, like you did the previous season, and you guys basically did all the heavy lifting for one of my stories. Is there any chance that they don't see him through the same lens that you guys do? Is there any because one thing that is different about him is that he is not one of these big gargantuan offensive linemen. Goody even said he's different. Now that's okay to me, right? I'm okay with a right tackle who doesn't fit the big mammoth offensive lineman suit. But is there any chance that the inside 1265, they're not looking at him the same way that 2 guys who played the same position at an elite level have seen him play. Is there any chance of that?
Tausch, you want to take it first?
Yeah, I mean, we'll find out. Like, all this stuff is cute, and we're all sitting here talking, they're talking. And the bottom line is, and, Bryan brought up contracts, right? Oh, there's 3 guys that are going to be up, and you're not going to keep anybody. And I agree. You do start maneuvering, but you do that in the draft. You don't go out and pay top dollar for the top free agent guard if it's about money and it's about that. It's about getting better. They didn't think it was good enough. And, yes, we can watch the film and we can think the guys are doing good and they're doing it. Do I think that there's always a little overreaction after a playoff loss? Yes, that is the world that we live in. And those things do leave marks on general managers' mindsets of, we can't win doing it this way. And when you start looking at Zach Tom, I'm going to be shocked if he doesn't have an extension before camp.
Yeah, me
because
too.
I would think Zach Tom and his team are going to look at it in a way, and obviously not to the same degree that Jordan Love did, but he had the peck. He's a really good player, and I could see him saying, well, I don't know how much practice I'm going to do come training camp until I get a new deal. Mm-hmm. And my guess is they see things. You heard Goody talk. You heard Domofsky pretty much put him in the Hall of Fame as a center.
Which he's not playing.
That's not what he plays. So we all look at him as a really good offensive lineman, and I'll be shocked if Green Bay – now, what value dollar-wise that comes with, Zach Tom ain't going anywhere. He will be the right tackle in Green Bay for the next 4 or 5 years. I'd almost guarantee that. I'm not going to give you the homer 100%, but I feel pretty strongly that's how Green Bay feels about him too.
Yeah, I mean, I think for sure. I mean, there's one thing Green Bay doesn't do, right? And that's let young, good offensive linemen walk out the door. Like guys that are playing at a really high level. Like that's just something they've never done. Like I don't guys in like in their going into their second contract, like letting those guys just walk out the door. Like I've never seen them do that. So I don't see them doing that with Zach Tom in this instance. I mean, if they did, I would be shocked. I really would be. Because you look at it, like, obviously there was going to be change with Myers departing, and the plan was for Elton to kick in, right? Like, Elton kicks in. Now we have an opening at left guard, and we saw what happened in the Philly game when we brought in someone from the bench to play left guard. It did not go well, right? So the big acquisition, the big acquisition in free agency was obviously was the reaction to it. Tausch is right. It had to be better, obviously. Like, there is no doubt about that. Like, that is the reaction to it. I don't think, Tausch, and maybe you disagree with me, I don't think the reaction to that was Elton wasn't good enough at left guard. I don't think that was it. Like, maybe you think that, but I don't think it was that Elton wasn't good enough at left guard. Yeah, I don't think it was that.
Yeah, I looked at it as Elton Jenkins, and we said this last year, all season, that Elton Jenkins is going to finish his career as a center. That's what we thought. Yeah. And there's nobody, what was apparent to them, you can't count on Jordan Morgan. Jordan Morgan wants to play left tackle. He's going to get that opportunity to win that spot, and we need to be a lot better. That's what Green Bay decided to do. That was their urgency point, because the NFL is not complicated. You can hear things, there's storylines, but when pen has to hit paper, that's when you find out what's really going on. So when you want to say Sean Ryan's playing good football, I agree with Bryan. I thought Sean Ryan took a step. He got challenged, and I thought he met the challenge last year. Now can he do it again, that Green Bay will say he's good enough that we need to pay him? That's what this comes down to, and we'll find that out along with some other things up front.
All right, last thing before we let Bryan go. You both talked about Elton. There is some question, and if I showed you my to-do list, this is on it, to text him today. There are some rumblings that maybe he has not been at the off-season program. Now, I don't know that for certain. He was not in the pictures that were posted, right?
Juicy.
We did not get a chance to ask Matt LaFleur. So I want to be very clear. I don't know about his attendance. Okay.
But it's juicy. You'd admit it's juicy if he's not there.
If accurate, then it is definitely very juicy.
Okay.
But he's got 2 years left on his deal. They just paid Aaron Banks a crap ton of money. He plays for a team that he knows they don't like to give out third contracts. He's got 2 years left on his second contract.
Oh, listen to these breadcrumbs. I'm at the passery, and there's breadcrumbs all on the floor. And they're leading to some real juicy stuff. It's juicy.
If you're him and they have predicated their offensive line juggling on you moving to center, is there a reason for him to say, look, let's be preemptive. I'm going to turn 30 this year. I know how you feel about guys that are 30 years old.
God, I wish I had a picture of Hansel and Gretel that I could put up on the screen right now.
I think it's still at the Thunder Trio. So, do you have any, I don't want to say concern, because we don't know. Maybe he had stuff going on, and maybe he'll be there on Monday. But do you have any concern that maybe this whole plan hinges on a guy that wants to make sure he gets his before it's too late and he gets into the final year of his deal, and then they just say, okay, well, now we'll play Jacob Monk there instead in 2026 or whatever it might be. Brian?
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly an interesting. I mean, listen, I don't. If he is away because of a contractual situation, which again I have no idea either, it would be interesting because, like you said, a lot of these moves are based off him kicking to the center position, and he is a very important piece to this because he is a very smart player. He knows this scheme in and out. He's very smart. He's very talented. He's learned from a lot of good players about this scheme. Like, he was next to Corey for a long time. He was next to Dave for a long time. Like, he knows this thing in and out. So he's a very valuable piece to this puzzle for the Packers. So, and he knows that too. So if that is the play here, I wouldn't be shocked. And the thing is, and the thing is, I wouldn't. If he looks to get a year added and more money, I would do it. I mean, certainly I would do it. You know what I mean? I would do it.
Yep, I'm Team Melton. All right, I've got a text message started. I don't anticipate a reply, but I will inquire because the breadcrumbs. Again, I have no idea. Maybe he had family things. Maybe he was there and they just missed a picture of him. But we will. I do think this is something that we need to monitor. Brian, thank you for stepping in. As always, you're the best. We appreciate you.
All right, guys.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
Yep. Take care.
That is Bryan Bulaga. Mark Tauscher is in Las Vegas at the bread shop, and he's talking about American Family Insurance. Hopefully the patisserie is insuring carefully.
Just like a great team, we just talked O-line for a long time, and just like a great team needs great protection, American Family Insurance knows your family needs it as well. That's why they make life better, protecting your dreams with the right home and auto policy. So insure carefully and dream fearlessly with American Family Insurance. Get a quote or find an agent at amfam.com.
More Wilde and Tausch next, live from Las Vegas and Green Bay, Wisconsin. Two towns very similar to each other, so stick around.
The Milwaukee Brewers, the Houston Astros.
Breaking ball hammered deep, right center field, way back, that the track, the wall, goodbye!
Today on 100.5 ESPN.
Mark Tauscher here for Pizza Hut, where Cheesy Bites Pizza is back right now. For just $13.99, you get a large pizza with 28 pullable, poppable, cheese-filled bites. And even better, it comes with the Ranch Lover's Flight, featuring 3 bold new dips: Ultimate Ranch, Chipotle Ranch, and Pepperoni Ranch. 1 large pizza, 3 dips, endless flavor. Hurry in or order online today at pizzahut.com. Only at Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute brought to you by your Badgerland Chevy dealers, proud supporters of Badger Athletics. Go to BadgerlandChevy.com. Making us believe. Who could forget Wisconsin's run to the 2015 national title game? Tom Izzo and his Spartans also in the Final Four that season. The legendary coach on the memorable UW squad.
That was a hell of a team. They had good players, good guys. The night before, we have a dinner with everybody, and it was kind of fun. The Big Ten was represented by two teams, but that year, I thought they were good enough to win it all.
Relive it all June 26th at the Made 'em Believe event, bringing together the stars from this unforgettable team. Tickets available now at UWHoops2015.com.
Don't wait to upgrade your windows and doors, because right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, get 0% financing for up to 6 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Take your game to the next level with Vortex Golf. This employee-owned brand out of Wisconsin brings you premium rangefinders like the Blade, Blade Slope, and the Anarch, packed with features like image stabilization, pin spotter mode, and rock-solid accuracy. Backed by a legendary no-questions-asked VIP lifetime warranty and unmatched customer service, Vortex has you covered. Ready to upgrade your gear? Visit MapleHillGolf.com and search Vortex to see the full lineup. Vortex Golf, you can bet on it.
Ben Brust here to tell you about why your next work van should be from Mercedes-Benz Sprinter at Zimbrick European. First off, we have versatility. The Sprinter vans offer 16 body types and thousands of ways to customize that space. Number 2, we have reliability. Sprinter's most powerful diesel engines last longer and require less maintenance, spend more time on the road and less time in those bays. Number 3, we have safety. Sprinter's safety technologies include curtain airbags all around, load adaptive electronic stability program, and crosswind and attention assist. Number 4, Van Care Mobile. Our maintenance team can come to you with routine service. Who wants to go in? Let them come to you. They work with multiple trucks on one visit. Use the Mercedes Me Connect. And last but not least, get your Zimbrick Sprinter at Zimbrick European at Rimrock Road and the Beltline, or go online at ZimbrickEuropean.com, because they never charge over the MSRP.
You remember the moments from that magical March.
Side Decker, it's a 3. Got it!
On June 26th, celebrate the squad with Made 'em Believe, a special night with Bo Ryan, Frank Kaminsky, and Sam Decker.
Here's Kaminsky, the drop
that's
stab,
his favorite.
and the 2.
Presented by Bud Light, Michelob Ultra, Potosi Varsity Ale, and Potosi Hard Seltzer. Tickets are on sale now at UWHoops2015.com. Made 'em Believe, June 26th at the Orpheum Theater in Madison.
Oh my gosh, Allie, did you look at Janet's roof? Ugh, it's like so flat. It looks like one of those roofing contractor commercials.
Who even understands those roofing guys anyways?
I like flat roofs and I cannot lie. You other contractors can't deny. TPO way up high. I'm hooked and I can't stop staring.
If you want a roof that's worth staring at, Avondale Roofing is where you go. Your roofing experts for over 30 years. AvondaleRoofing.com.
Wilde and Tausch on 100.5 ESPN is brought to you by Everlight Solar. Save money, save the planet. Everlight Solar.
'Cause I'm a hazard to myself. Don't let me get beat. I'm my own worst enemy. It's bad when you know yourself. So irritating.
And we're going to kick off the 10 o'clock hour here in a couple minutes, because Jesse, now that there's no paywall, is reading Channel 3000, unlike
good
the
stuff
old
there.
Madison.com. Yeah, surprising, I know. And he read my story about Christian Watson's recovery, and I want to get Tausch's insights, having been through that twice, even though different type of players. Tausch, before we can do that, though, we need to close out the 9 o'clock hour, and you need to tell us about why you joined me at UW Credit Union.
Well, people ask me, why, old T, why did you join UW Credit Union? Is it because Jason did? Sure. Is it to keep your banking local? Yep. Is it the member first service, the great perks like early payday? All of that. But honestly, I just wanted that Bucky debit card. It's so fun. You pull it out of your wallet, red, black, and beautiful face. And if you love Wisconsin like I do, you just can't pay with anything else. Fandom will make you do crazy things, but this just makes sense. So become a UW Credit Union member like I did and get your Bucky card, federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions do apply.
Was Bucky at the tables with you guys last night or the day before?
Bucky was not down here. I don't know if Bucky, no Bucky this year at the Badger Desert Classic.
Getting ready for graduation, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's coming up. It's that time of year.
He knows the dangers of Sin City. All right, that is the end of the 9 o'clock hour. We'll talk about Christian Watson's recovery to kick off the 10 o'clock hour, and we'll do that in 2 minutes. So stick around. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Why is life better with American Family Insurance? Because every policy comes with something very special. A trusted agent who's there to help protect your dreams by finding the right coverage at the right price. Save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
This is Derek Engler. You're listening to a Good Karma Brands radio station, 100.5 ESPN WTLX Monona, Madison.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good morning, Madison and streamers everywhere. I'm Jesse Nelson, Sports Center, brought to you by Goodman's Jewelers, the diamond store of Madison for generations. Check them out, 220 State Street, and online at goodmansjewelers.com. The Milwaukee Brewers in search of their first sweep of a series this season, and they hope to do so this afternoon, hosting the Houston Astros. Last night, the Brewers 4-3 winners over the Astros at American Family Field. Jake Bauers' 2-run home run, part of a 4-run first inning. That's all the crew needed. 4-3, the final score. Milwaukee defeats Houston for the second night in a row. So going for the sweep this afternoon, 12:10 first pitch. Pregame coverage starts just after 11:30 here on Madison's new home of the Brewers, 100.5 ESPN. A programming note, if you want to stay with Wilde and Tausch or catch the majority of Kyle Bruston Nortman this afternoon, you can stream exclusively on the new ESPN Wisconsin app or on the ESPN Milwaukee YouTube channel. NBA playoffs continue tonight here on 100.5 ESPN. Game 2 in the Western Conference. The Denver Nuggets up 1-0 on the Oklahoma City Thunder. Pregame coverage starts at 8, tip at 8:30. Right here on Madison's home of the NBA Finals, 100.5 ESPN. Wilde and Tausch continues now.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
The 10 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch begins now, with Tausch working his way back, or at least hoping to be working his way back from Las Vegas later today. Tausch, you have never been called spindly or wiry like Christian Watson, but like Christian Watson, you have torn your ACL. Christian Watson taking part in the Redbird Ribbon Walk at De Pere High School over the weekend, supporting folks fighting cancer. And, hey, he looked good going around the track from all the video captured by the local TV stations here in Green Bay. That's not the same as running downfield and catching a 60-yard bomb from Jordan Love, but he sounded like he is encouraged and optimistic. I still think November is the likely timeline for him, but does this kind of stuff happen during a road back from an ACL, and is there reason to be encouraged that he seems to be ahead of schedule a little bit?
Well, I think the big thing, obviously there's disappointment, and the hardest part about coming back from an ACL is if you get your mind, you let your mind bend, and it happens. I don't care how strong or how tough or how decorated you are. And I think with Christian Watson, he was dealing with these whispers of, well, he can't stay healthy. Now it's going to be going into his contract year. They just draft 2 guys. That noise can really get inside your head and bother you. So I think the best thing you can do, just work, put your head down, have people around you, and then try and do things that will distract you. Do good things out in the community. Try and stay as positive as you can, because inevitably there is going to be negativity. And if you mentally aren't in the right place, I've said this 100 times, Flea and Brian and Kurt and the whole training staff, the strength staff for me was Mark Levat. You, for as much as it is about rehabbing and getting your quad strong and getting your calves built back up, it is just as important, if not more so, the mental part of this, because doesn't matter who, your mind will go to some pretty dark places. Can I still do it? Are they going to replace me? Am I still part of the team? Like, there are just a lot of things that will rattle around in your head. So I love the fact that Christian Watson, and that's where you just set goals and you keep reaching and going and pushing. And even if they're going to hold you back, you want to be positioned where you're going to make it really tough on the training staff and the doctors to not let you get out there and play. So they say 8 or 9 months. Nobody's telling you can't do it in 6. Now, are they going to let you play in 6? Probably not. But that needs to be that mentality to get back out there, because you're just trying to get back to where you were and reset. And that when you're working so hard just to get back to reset, it is a really tough place mentally. And I love the fact he's out there doing it. I love what Matt LaFleur had to say. That stuff's all great, but he's just getting started on his path, and it's still going to be really difficult. And as long as he keeps the mental frame, and again, I couldn't have been more impressed with his approach last season, how he handled it. I'm rooting for him, and I hope that he is able to get back out there and be the big-time player that we all hoped he'd be.
So I do wonder, and I said this to Blue when he was filling in earlier in the week, if somewhere Matt LaFleur is hoping, obviously he wants him to recover and wants him to be back to being the player that LaFleur calling him a freak and saying that, I mean that in the most positive way. I said this once, I've said it 1,000 times. LaFleur loves Christian Watson. He loves how smart he is. He loves how he's unlike any other guy in terms of his size and his speed. He's a different cat. I do wonder if they are rooting for him to come back in November and have some good moments, but not like a ton of good moments, and explode back onto the scene so they can keep him for another year at a reasonable rate, or can extend him at a number that's a little more manageable. And the reason I bring this up is because obviously your first ACL came at a less than great time for you contractually.
Yeah.
When you look at him, is there a chance that he's following, unfortunately, the Mark Tauscher contract path of ACL at a bad time?
No, it's a whole different animal. When you have an ACL and you're not on a team and your contract is up, he gets to rehab in the facility. He gets to get back there. And I don't think I heard this right. Jesse, did Jason just say that he thinks Matt LaFleur hopes that Christian Watson kind of slowly doesn't have a great second half to the season? And did I mishear that?
I think you're riled up from the Elton Jenkins breadcrumbs, and you may have interpreted that a little differently than he intended it, but it didn't sound like he didn't say that entirely.
I think Jason's point was that, will they give a big boy contract if Christian Watson plays 5 games and has a great thing? Doubtful, but is somebody else?
Yes.
Matt
yes,
LaFleur
seeone very well
seems like
could.
something the Jaguars would do, yeah.
Matt LaFleur wants Christian Watson to be a stud. I think you earn a lot of points with coaches when you handle bad situations well. And I think everybody liked Christian Watson a lot. I think they loved his talent. We're frustrated that he was unable to stay on the field as consistently as we all hoped. Mm-hmm. But I think the way he handled that Romeo Doubs scenario last year, I think, put him up another level because coaches, they want their players to lead. And the way to lead is when everybody can lead when you're winning and you're 13-4 and you're humming along. How are you going to lead when a guy leaves and he's not there?
Mm-hmm.
And how he handled that last year, and then how he jumped in and played in a game at the end of the season where he shouldn't have. And now I think there is a lot of people over there that are rooting for him to have a Bonko year and get a big payday. And whether it's Green Bay or not, I think there comes a point where you're just looking, you want your team to be great. You want those guys to contribute. But there's also the guys that you just want them to have a ton of success, both financially and on the field. Mm-hmm. And I think that's where people are with Christian Watson right now.
Tausch, we're going to talk to Homer a little bit later in this hour. We can't get to that or the next portion of the program where I want to talk a little bit about Matthew Golden and Savion Williams until you've told us about Quick Trip. Do they have Quick Trip in Las Vegas?
They don't. I miss it. I want to get home. I want to get to Quick Trip because Quick Trip gets it. And whether you're craving that fresh coffee, man, I know I am. Or if you're hoping for a tasty bakery treat, that's an option here. A quick grab-and-go meal. Quick Trip is your go-to. Quick Trip has a variety. You want a little something ordinary? No. Head to Quick Trip where they're serving up their legendary no ordinary chicken, juicy chicken tenders, boneless wings that are hand-breaded, fried to perfection, and ready to go. Quick Trip's crispy chicken sandwich, another one. Plus, you get that 8-piece fried chicken meal that will feed the whole crew. It's not always just chicken. You can also get Nature's Touch butter. You got buns from the Quickery 8, count 2 for $3. You got bananas and onions and baked potatoes. All of it 29 cents a pound. Take advantage of everything that Quick Trip has to offer. Quick rewards on every visit. Plus, you can order ahead for pickup or curbside delivery. Quick Trip. I cannot wait to get to one when I get home today. We'll see you next time.
I want to talk a little bit about Matthew Golden and Savion Williams, who I wrote about today at channel3000.com. We'll have that conversation next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Mark Tauscher here to tell you a little bit more about Everlight Solar. We all know that electricity costs are on the rise. That's why you need to talk to my friends over at Everlight Solar. Their local team here in Madison is here to keep it simple. From your no-cost consultation to solar panel installation, the team at Everlight Solar will be with you every step of the way. Not only will they help you save money, but by switching to solar, you're also helping save the planet. Everlight Solar, a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. Check them out at everlightsolar.com.
Wild Rock Golf in the Wisconsin Dells, a must-play every golf season. Wild Rock Golf features championship golf in the heart of Wisconsin. Wild Rock, a Herdston Fry masterpiece that's cut from the natural beauty of the Wisconsin Dells and offers stunning views from elevated tee boxes. Wild Rock presents spectacular greens that roll fast and true. Wild Rock Golf in the Wisconsin Dells, a unique gem that offers a challenge to avid golfers of all abilities. Book your tee time today for this must-play at wildrockgolf.com, wildrockgolf.com.
If you're a motorist of the four-wheel variety, please watch out for those of us in Wisconsin who do their traveling on two wheels. Adjust your mirrors to reduce your blind spots. Allow motorcyclists a full lane width. Use your turn signal when merging or changing lanes. And allow more following distance between you and the motorcycle. Motorists and motorcyclists can work together to achieve zero preventable deaths on Wisconsin roads. Zero in Wisconsin. Together we can save lives. Learn more at zeroinwisconsin.gov. Wisconsin DOT.
Ben Brust here to tell you about why your next work van should be from Mercedes-Benz Sprinter at Zimbrick European. First off, we have versatility. The Sprinter vans offer 16 body types and thousands of ways to customize that space. Number 2, we have reliability. Sprinter's most powerful diesel engines last longer and require less maintenance, spend more time on the road and less time in those bays. Number 3, we have safety. Sprinter's safety technologies include curtain airbags all around, load adaptive electronic stability program, and crosswind and attention assist. Number 4, Van Care Mobile. Our maintenance team can come to you with routine service. Who wants to go in? Let them come to you. They work with multiple trucks on one visit. Use the Mercedes Me Connect. And last but not least, get your Zimbrick Sprinter at Zimbrick European at Rimrock Road and the Beltline, or go online at ZimbrickEuropean.com because they never charge over the MSRP.
From color-changing alexandrite to shimmering zircon and everything in between at Chalmers Jewelers, you'll find high-quality, affordable, one-of-a-kind pieces. We source straight from the gem cutters, and we manufacture in-house from start to finish. As the manufacturer, we believe in truth in pricing. Never pay more for quality and stunning, beautiful jewelry. She's one of a kind, and so should her jewelry be. While others may send your jewelry dreams to someone else to make, with us, your dreams become reality with the help of our custom jewelers, with you involved the whole way. With a staff that has over 200 years of combined experience, why buy from a place that marks up jewelry made by the thousands? When you can buy direct from Chalmers for that one-of-a-kind piece that is better quality, often for less.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
And Madison.
The UW Credit Union member Mark Tauscher here. People ask me, old T, why did you join UW Credit Union? Is it to keep your banking local? Is it the member first service? Great perks like early payday? Absolutely. But honestly, between us, it's Bucky. I can't say no to that face. If you love Wisconsin like I do, you just can't pay with anything else. Fandom makes us do crazy things, but this just makes sense. Become a UW Credit Union member and get your Bucky card like me. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
Wilde and Tausch with Green Bay Packers head coach Matt LaFleur.
There were some moments in games where I don't think we managed the game the way it should have been managed, and that falls squarely on my shoulders.
Listen now exclusively on the ESPN Wisconsin app.
All right, we'll get to Savion Williams and Matthew Golden a little bit later, with or without Tausch. But I just ran upstairs and I saw David Muir. He wasn't in my living room. He was on my television. The Papal Conclave is underway, Tausch.
Okay.
And I thought immediately that you were in Rome for a vacation. One that you were with your family as opposed to your trip to Las Vegas as you struggle to get home. I am curious. It looked like they don't have cameras inside for like the Sistine Chapel and stuff. But like, you got to see that, right? You're not. You told us you weren't able to take pictures. Is that correct?
Of the Sistine Chapel?
Yeah.
Yes.
But you saw it with your own eyes.
I did, and if you recall, I told you it was overrated, which sounds crazy, but it was a long wait. You couldn't take photos. It's beautiful. It is great, but for the pub that it gets, I believe it's a little overrated.
Well, this is a big deal because obviously they are getting ready to start the process of electing a new pope, and that's why David Muir has traveled there, and that's why they have live coverage on ABC. For those of you listening to our show instead, thank you. Doesn't make you a bad Catholic. It means you like our show.
So during our show, you're watching conclave coverage?
No.
It sounds like you were watching conclave coverage.
I went upstairs.
You just said
I wasn't. Well, first of all, it was at a commercial break. I saw David Muir. I'm like, what happened? I thought maybe something like bad had happened, right? Because when they have the primary anchor on at 10:30 in the morning,
usually that's a bad thing.
Not great. Mm-hmm. And then I saw that he was at the Vatican, and he was updating us. There's no white smoke. They haven't even started the process yet.
Kind of silly that all the news people go there if you can't really report anything. It's not like you can interview
They want a trip.
You can't interview all the people as they're coming. Like, hey, how was it in there today?
We're standing here live with Cardinal Jesse Nelson. Hey, how's the process going so far, Jesse?
Tough one out there, Jason. They just not a lot of agreement. Nobody on the same page today. Really hoping that tomorrow will be different.
We don't have a lot of first-round choices.
I was hoping for a better continental breakfast today. I think that got us off to a bad start. Just not a good day in the old conclave. We'll see if we can get him tomorrow.
All right. Well, we need to get to Homer anyway. The Sistine Chapel may be overrated in Tausch's mind, but Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin is never overrated. It always lives up to your lofty expectations.
Indeed, and there is no better time to either pick up hope or to upgrade your windows and doors than right now, because Pella is offering up to 6 years of 0% financing. Set up your free in-home consultation. You commit to nothing at this point. They'll listen to your vision, suggest the Pella materials and customizations that will make it a reality. Get 0% financing again for up to 6 years. Certain restrictions do apply. This deal ends May 31st, so visit PellaWI.com today to learn more.
Steve the Homer True joins us next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, driven by Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie on 100.5 ESPN. See their full inventory at ZimbrickChevrolet.com.
Mark Tauscher here to tell you a little bit more about Everlight Solar. We all know that electricity costs are on the rise. That's why you need to talk to my friends over at Everlight Solar. Their local team here in Madison is here to keep it simple. From your no-cost consultation to solar panel installation, the team at Everlight Solar will be with you every step of the way. Not only will they help you save money, but by switching to solar, you're also helping save the planet. Everlight Solar, a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. Check them out at everlightsolar.com.
All day, every day, the Carbless Talk and Text line is open for you. 844-770-3776. The Carbless Talk and Text line. This is more.
Every event tells a story, from the first impression to the final moments. Have someone guide your guests through every chapter the way you want the story told. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With a strong presence, great voices, and an award-winning team, trust us to guide, direct, and inform your guests through all the different chapters of the day. For fun, memorable entertainment for any event, please visit us at celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
Looking to join an international quality golf club right here in Madison? Discover TPC Wisconsin, an instant classic in the heart of the Midwest. With a course co-designed by Steve Stricker and PGA Tour Designs, it's the 13th and newest TPC Network golf club in the world. Other high-quality amenities include a short game practice area, athletic performance center, and meeting and dining facilities, plus membership benefits that reach around the globe. Schedule a tour at tpcwisconsin.com and start your journey to a lifetime of priceless golf.
ESPN Madison and Zimbrick Honda are celebrating the area's best high school sports stories with the Game Changers of the Month. Follow ESPN Madison on social media to see the teams recognized for making a positive impact in the community. It's the Game Changers of the Month, presented by Zimbrick Honda.
I'm John Hayes, owner of Goodman's Jewelers. We've been at the heart of many magical moments, from engagements to weddings to sweet 16s. It warms my heart to be a part of these moments for 40 years with people I consider family. With the highest standards and an eye for classic beauty, enjoy a warm boutique setting at Goodman's Jewelers, where integrity shines in every gem. At 220 State Street, Goodman's Jewelers, the Diamond Store, Madison, since 1933.
The best is at Goodman's.
Madison's financial challenges need a Dane County-based bank. Starion Bank is a full-service community bank that delivers quality big bank services with a local approach. We are proud to be there for any budding entrepreneur or small businesses, helping them exceed their financial goals from banking to lending to cash management. Visit a banker at one of our convenient branches in Middleton, Monona, or Sun Prairie. Starion Bank, taking you farther.
Since 1956, Holman Lindsay Paints has been making paint in Wisconsin for Wisconsin. Because of their commitment to making great paint for Wisconsinites, Holman Lindsay has grown over the years to 26 locations in this great state. Headquarters in Sun Prairie with a state-of-the-art facility, Holman Lindsay has the paint you need to make your job better. From do-it-yourself to professional, Holman Lindsay has paint for everyone. Visit one of their local locations today in Madison, Sun Prairie, Middleton, and Janesville.
Madison athletes seeking elite training need to get started today at Total Athlete Performance. TAP is here to serve and educate the serious athlete with their speed, agility, and semi-private training options. Sessions are now available in both Windsor and their TAP facility inside the Verona Athletics Center. Also access remote training anytime, anywhere with the Total Athlete Performance app. Visit tapwisconsin.com for subscriptions, including monthly payment options. That's tapwisconsin.com.
Matt LaFleur with Wilde and Tausch.
Josh Jacobs, was he better than you thought when you guys went through the free agency process?
What I would tell you is, tough as this may be, I think he's even a better person than he is a player.
Listen to the full interview only on the new ESPN Wisconsin app.
You know what that music means? Time now for the host of the Homer Hour, the best 60 minutes of your day, allegedly. The voice of Marquette men's basketball for the last 35 years, and the host of God Talk, My Faith with Homer and Pip on YouTube, which Jesse points out in the break. I'm assuming they have wall-to-wall coverage of the Papal Conclave as well. It is Steve the Homer True. Homer, good morning. Who you got in the Conclave Papal Pool?
We do not. We focus significantly more on a faith, not a particular church. So Pip might be following that. There's a movie conclave out that is very good, and it'll probably be better than real life. So you need to watch that movie.
I watched it the other day. Good timing on that one. Came out last year.
What's the storyline?
Same thing. Just the storyline is what they're doing now.
Like the internal conflict among all these cardinals, figuring out who the right guy is?
The Pope dies, all the cardinals show up, and...
Are you talking about the Thornbirds? Is that what you guys were talking about?
No.
No, but that was very good, too. That was Richard Chamberlain.
Yeah.
He was a priest who was fooling around, right? That's what I remember. With,
the last movie you recommended me, you actually sent me the DVD. I haven't watched it yet, but I will. October Sky.
Oh, fantastic! Oh man,
that's James Bond, right?
No, that's about
Bond?
the kid that becomes he's a rocket kid. He do rockets in Montana or something. Oh, fantastic! And then
Jake Gyllenhaal.
Rocket Kid.
Oh, yes,
Rocket. It's John Williams, the 7th round pick.
Now I'm suggesting you see this movie about this kids movie that a little pony becomes a unicorn, and I can't think of their name. Anyway,
Pink Pony Club.
Conclave?
I think it's called.
No, never mind. I can't remember.
No, it's Pink Pony
But
Club.
it's a pony.
It is not.
She's a rock star. She has a group, and they in order to be popular, she fakes being a unicorn, and then it's a kids movie. But kids movies are really good now.
Did you guys realize that Pink Pony Club is a 7-year-old song that is now emerged? Like, when does that ever
Natasha Bedingfield, am I right?
Well, I mean, I'd imagine even Taylor
Swift.
Swift.
Often.
No, even when you're an up and coming star, I'm sure your number one hit that you have out of the gates you've had for a while.
I don't know.
7 years. 7 years.
I can't be a part of this
No, I don't
conversation.
think so.
I know nothing about that. So
Yeah, I
whatever
don't
you
either.
say,
It's a catchy
I
tune.
do want to credit Tausch for a very good topic, something that's overrated. Like, it's good, but it's not that good. And I thought of it because yesterday we were talking about New York pizza. Perfect example. It's good, but not way overrated, not that good. And it's very weird that you eat New York pizza by folding it and then eating it, which is incredibly idiotic, but I mean, it's still good. By the way, we would discuss the places to go are in Greenwich Village. There's a street broker, someone told us to go there, and I've been to New York for 20 years, and I couldn't, at 11 a.m., there were like 50 people waiting in line just to get in. It's like Joe's on Broker Street or something, I don't know.
So the Sistine Chapel and New York pizza are atop our list of overrated things.
Right, but I want to emphasize they're still good. There's a different overrated where it just stinks. These are things that are good, but they're not that good. Tausch, isn't that what you were saying?
Yes, exactly. You're speaking you're speaking it. Yep.
You're speaking
like,
my
to
language.
Me in New York, walking the Brooklyn Bridge is the best. It's better than anything else. But
Not with
that's
a bad
me.
knee.
I could be wrong.
So wait, have you seen the Sistine Chapel yourself, being the good Catholic you are?
No, I'm not a good Catholic in that regard. My first time I got in trouble was in grade school at a Catholic school where I didn't buy the Pope. still really iffy. I don't understand. Pope's human. Humans have limitations, but the Pope is supposed to be. I don't even know what I'm supposed to believe, but I don't believe it. So, to the degree I'm supposed to. Like here's a great. This is a great example. The Pope is overrated. Like the Pope is special, but not as much as they sell it.
What about Las Vegas?
Oh, no, Las Vegas has dropped off. It's not the same place anymore. It's not.
Maybe you need to spend more time there, like Tausch.
No, you don't need to go to Vegas anymore. You can gamble other places. There are other places probably better to go to gamble now. You do not need to go to Vegas anymore. I think people go there more now for shows than they do for.
That's
just
me.
a different world we live in. My daughter loves to go there for the various shows, but in terms of what Vegas used to be, gone. They should call it another city. Give it a new name. Not Vegas anymore.
Well, the rate we're going, it's going to be Tauschville.
That's good. I'll go with Tauschville. Sure.
Tausch, you haven't gotten to talk to Homer in a while. Do you have anything you have for him before we tell him thank you for his service?
We've talked to him a lot this last couple of days.
Indeed, Jesse.
Yeah.
Well, what
I
have you
can
guys
tell
talked about?
This crap about the Packers running the ball is just garbage.
What do you mean?
Because LaFleur will never do that. Never. It's not who he is.
They did last year.
No,
That's what they did last year. What are you talking about?
What?
Yes, they
no,
did.
that's why they were not happy with the offense. In the end, they had no downfield stuff, right? The mistake in the offensive line was only one thing. The greatest embarrassment for Goody is what he put on the field as an offensive lineman after the injury. And all this must be addressing that. The offensive line was fine last year except for that mistake. And that I don't think it cost them the game, but it certainly gave them no chance to win the game. That might have been the worst depth offensive line problem the Packers have ever experienced No. Okay. All right. I'll defer to you.
No, there was an NFC Championship game. I wasn't on the team. They had Gooch, LaTroy Guion, a defensive tackle playing right guard with like 5 minutes left in a football game, in an NFC Championship game.
That did happen.
All right, hold on. Was he worse than the person who played against Philly? I say not.
Travis Glover and Kadeem Telford did have a tough go of it. That's for sure.
I'll take that as a yes.
But to Tausch's point, the Green Bay Packers ran the football 526 times last season. They threw the football, which again, now in fairness, this does not, they did have other dropbacks where Malik Willis took off and ran, or Jordan Love ran.
Is totally biased because of the injury. No way it would have been the same without the injury. Go ahead.
But they still threw 479 passes.
Right.
So even if you're factoring in the injury, the fact that they ran the ball 50 more times than they did throw the ball, I do think that underscores Tausch's point that they were more committed to the run than ever before under Matt LaFleur.
They weren't. They were committed because they had to be for how many games? If Jordan Love had played all the games and had not been hurt, what would the story have been?
I don't know. It still might have been giving the ball to Josh Jacobs more to take less of the to take more of the burden off of their quarterback.
Okay, then that's the problem.
What's the problem?
If you don't believe in your quarterback enough that you think you have to do that next year, then good luck.
Well, there's nothing wrong with having a complimentary piece I can't even say complimentary piece, but you're saying you don't want to have a good running back?
No, I'm saying that's not what LaFleur believes in. That's not LaFleur. That's not who he is. That's not who he will ever be. It's like the times they tried to tell us in the past, the Packers, they run the ball. They run the ball. Yeah, right, yeah. When it comes down right to it, they pass the ball because of the quarterbacks they have. And I don't believe LaFleur is capable of being what is being trying to presented that he will be. And it would happen only if he doesn't have faith in his quarterback, which means you got a problem bigger than how good your running back is.
Well, wait a minute. There's a lot of difference between having Brett Favre or Aaron Rodgers where you think they can make everyone be way better than they are and you can just put everything on their plate, and not having faith in your quarterback, isn't there a midpoint there of, hey, we don't think that this guy is that guy, but we still think this guy is a pretty damn good guy, and we want to make sure that we're not asking him to do the stuff that the 7 combined MVP award guys had to do.
Right. Yeah, and with LaFleur, that will mean still passing the ball a little less, but not becoming a run-oriented offense, ever.
Mm-hmm. So you think...
No, I think, Homer, I think initially I agree with you, but you play to your strengths. Last year, that was Josh Jacobs.
Okay.
He is an adjuster. I think Matt LaFleur is not the rigid, this is what we do. He's changed the blocking scheme to fit the running back's choice that he likes, and they were effective with it. I think you want to have balance. We always talk about that. He is not looking at Jordan Love as we need him to be Aaron Rodgers. I think he's looking at it more of we don't want that. We want Jordan Love to be better, make more plays with his feet, but lean into Josh Jacobs.
Mm-hmm.
Lean into that. And I think that's the difference. Whereas with Rodgers, it was we're going to go as far as he goes, and we'll have, if there's a nice complementary running game to it, great. I think that's the difference.
Well, I agree with that. I agree with that, but we come down to the same question. Will they be more pass than run or more run than pass?
There'll be more pass than run.
What?
There'll be more pass than run.
Okay, yeah, that's all I'm saying.
Okay, well, we will see if Jordan Love stays healthy for 17 games. If they throw more passes, then they run to the running backs.
What do you mean we'll see? It's going to happen, right? You agree, Jason, right? There's not an if. It's going to happen.
I don't agree. I don't feel as confident in that because, again, while Tausch made a very good point, he probably doesn't remember it because he's so sleep deprived. But this offensive line, the philosophy for many, 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 many years was if you can't pass block, you can't play. And while that still holds, right, because they still have a good quarterback, the moves that they have made, I'm sorry, I think it's pretty clear they want to road great, and they do want to run the football more. And they did it last.
And it's road grade, not like grating cheese, right?
You're probably right. It's like espresso, and I always say espresso, which is not the right thing to say either. Right. But I do believe that they want to be run heavy still, and even if their quarterback is healthy, Jason, have those kind of numbers.
Even with that, this is no longer this isn't the Lombardi Packers. It's not going to be 50-50. If you're even close to 50% pass run, that is crazy in today's day and age.
Yeah, well, so, maybe he's a crazy guy. We've seen teams run the ball more than
wild and zany.
Yeah, wacky. Josh Jacobs ran 301 times last season.
Yes, because of other situations. That is, nor will never be Matt LaFleur. I'll believe it when I see it. Right. He sold you, Jason, more than he sold Tausch and I. Am I correct there?
Yeah.
Yes, you are.
We'll see who's right. Homer, I'll talk to you later today.
Bye.
Bye. That is Steve the Homer True. You can hear him every weekday on the Homer Hour. The best 60 minutes of your day, or at least that's how they advertise it. Tomorrow's the day. And Lord help me, please tell me you're going to be back in time because we're so excited to be doing the show tomorrow from the Hard Rock Casino in Rockford.
There is nothing that I'm going to be more excited about getting home to go from Las Vegas to the Las Vegas in the Midwest, which is the Hard Rock Casino Rockford. The new Hard Rock Casino Rockford features over 175,000 square feet of gaming and entertainment space, including more than 1,300 slots, 50 live table games, a sports book, and a rock shop. Hard Rock Casino Rockford. Again, it's beautiful. We're going to be there tomorrow right off of I-90 on the left-hand side, that big old beautiful purple and gold neon guitar right there off of I-90 in Rockford, Illinois.
All right, Tausch, we wish you safe travels.
Me too.
On time travels also.
I wish those things for myself too.
All right. Well, thanks for despite your sleep deprivation, joining your own show for a couple hours. Safe travels, buddy.
Do
Thanks.
I need to bring you coffee or anything tomorrow morning for our drive down? What do you need for a pillow?
Let's just
let him.
keep
I think you'd be
positive
better off
vibes.
having a nap.
Tomorrow might be the day I actually want you to sit in the back seat.
Oh, I can't wait. I am looking forward to that. That will
Jesse
be.
Uber.
I'm in. I am in. All right,
All right,
fellas,
Tausch, we'll see you tomorrow. That is Mark Tauscher live from Las Vegas, where he was helping raise NIL money for Badgers football, but now we're hoping he gets home safe and sound for tomorrow's program from the Hard Rock Casino. We'll have more without him of Wilde and Tausch next, so stick around.
We're on the Packers.
You still want to see that steady play, that steady improvement, and you didn't get it from Jordan Love?
Because we're on Wisconsin sports.
That just makes the stakes that much higher this season.
Nobody covers the green and gold like 100.5 ESPN.
Mark Tauscher here for Kohler Services. Well, if you've been putting off your bath or shower remodel, now's the time to turn to Kohler Services. Family owned for 150 years, Kohler is your Wisconsin manufacturer, providing care for life. And this month only, get $1,000 off your Lugstone shower remodel and no interest financing for 12 months. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote, with fast, professional installation always included. That's KohlerServicesWI.com.
You, rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute is brought to you by Steinhaffel's Memorial Day Mattress Sale. Save up to $900 on select adjustable base sets, plus get up to $300 in Steinhaffel's cash only at Steinhaffel's. Making us believe. Who could forget Wisconsin's run to the 2015 national title game? Tom Izzo and his Spartans also in the Final Four that season. The legendary coach on the memorable UW squad.
That was a hell of a team. They had good players, good guys. It was kind of fun. The Big Ten was represented by two teams, but that year, I thought they were good enough to win it all.
Relive it all June 26th at the Made 'em Believe event, bringing together the stars from this unforgettable team. Tickets available now at uwhoops2015.com.
Don't wait to upgrade your windows and doors, because right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, get 0% financing for up to 6 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Home practice is about to begin. Your daughter's new tap shoes? Loud. Your son's new tuba? Louder. But you got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with $50 overdraft grace zone. So if you lose track of expenses buying some noise-canceling and sanity-saving headphones, we've got your back. You got this with $50 overdraft grace zone from Associated Bank. See AssociatedBank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
Ben Brust here to tell you about Zimbrick European. They're Mercedes, Audi, Porsche, and certified pre-owned. But the best part is I've been working with them since 2018, and the evolution has been a 2-door, a 4-door, and now it's time for an SUV. My life has changed, and it's changed with Zimbrick European. Being a dad has made it really important to have the comfort and the safety that the SUV will bring me. Again, Zimbrick European off the Beltline at Rimrock Road. Of course, I found the sexiest car on the lot. Check them out.
Free Food Friday on ESPN Madison is brought to you by Vintage Brewing Company. Whether you're looking to get carry-out, delivery, or dine-in, Vintage Brewing has lots of great options on their menu. Vintage Brewing Company prides themselves on being a great place to hang out and enjoy classic Midwestern hospitality. Vintage Brewing Company has multiple award-winning beers, so be sure to try one the next time you're in. Head to VintageBrewingCompany.com to make a reservation today. That's VintageBrewingCompany.com.
The 2015 Wisconsin men's hoops team gave us all a march to remember.
There will be no undefeated champion on Wisconsin with an unbelievable stretch drive to the championship game.
On June 26th, enjoy an intimate celebration with the stars of the run with Made 'em Believe. Presented by M3 Insurance. World-class expertise and individual attention. Tickets are on sale now at uwhoops2015.com. Made 'em Believe, June 26th at the Orpheum Theater in Madison.
Mark Tauscher here for Chalmers Jewelers. I've been a big fan of Scott, Garrett, and the whole team at Chalmers Jewelers for years now. I go there, my friends go there, and most importantly, my wife loves it whenever I get her something from Chalmers Jewelers. It's my go-to spot for birthdays, anniversaries, and any special occasion. For quality jewelry and a great experience, choose Chalmers Jewelers, the place to go for that perfect gift. Stop at Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton and Madison.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
And Madison.
We're on the Bucks.
This is the greatest player this franchise has had since Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Because we're on Wisconsin sports.
And now they might be in a position where they're forced to deal him away.
Madison's home of the Bucks, 100.5 ESPN.
Thanks to Uncle Homer, and of course to Tausch. But now they're both gone. Jesse and I will hold down the fort for half of the 11 o'clock hour.
Yeah, it's a weird day.
And then, because we've got Brewers coming up as they look to sweep the Astros, we're going to switch to Milwaukee and to YouTube.
Josh DiMaggio is going to hold things down with you. 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam. No change. Everything's business as usual for all of you. Here in Madison, for me and for our fans, you got to put in a little extra work to make this all
So does that mean
happen,
that there's a Woj-Joshi?
That is correct, yes.
Scheduled?
That is correct, yep.
So just to recap how today has gone. There was some question about whether we would even have Tausch. Then he was in some sort of French bread shop.
Originally, he was supposed to land in Madison at 8 o'clock, and he was going to be home for the whole show. So let's start.
Let's be honest.
I did not know when he said, I'm good for Wednesday, that meant he was going to be landing 1 hour before the show. Had I known that, I think we probably would have made some different plans.
Indeed.
Yeah.
All right. So then that plan gets scuttled, and he runs into travel troubles on his way back. By the way, had he actually gotten that trip, can you imagine Tausch coming off of a red-eye flight and knowing that he doesn't sleep well in the discomfort of airplanes? Like, I am here to say I am thankful for this playing out the way it did today.
We
because
actually
while he was
got a
tired,
better version of him. Yep.
Yes. Yes, and I think credit to him, he made a very concerted effort not to be overtired, difficult, grouchy Tausch.
So, and I think tomorrow, just so we all are on the same page here, I'm not too worried about tomorrow. I think he's going to be, he's going to get home. He's going to get to bed probably pretty quick, I would guess, after this.
Got a baseball
he does
game
have a baseball
or something.
Game. I think he's going to get a nice full night of sleep. I think he's going to be fine. He might be a little crotchety tomorrow morning if I'm a little. I better be on
Hopefully
time
just on the
to pick him
drive.
up. The ride home from Rockford tomorrow is going to be the one that I'm a little worried about. Because I think, energy's going to be high. Or our first time our show is going down to the Hard Rock Casino Rockford. We're all excited about that. He's going to be excited and energized to be there. I'm not worried about the show. The drive home, I'm very concerned about. He might fall asleep. He might get irritated if I'm not
that's a
driving
win if he
fast
does
enough.
that.
Yeah, I'm worried about the drive home tomorrow. I might ask you to take him.
No, I got to go see our friend Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. He's got a photo booth for me for the big dance.
That's what I hear. Yeah.
Jesse and I will be together for the next 29 minutes.
Assistant golf coach.
And then it'll be Josh and I to take you home. So please stick around. We would love to have you. And if you have to go, like Tausch had to go, or Homer had to go, or Bryan Bulaga had other stuff going on, well, you can always catch everything that you wanted to hear but weren't able to listen live, or you can listen live on the all-new ESPN Wisconsin app. Your state, your teams, your ESPN. A customizable homepage, easier and quicker live listing, your shows at the touch of a fingertip. The ESPN Wisconsin app is available in both the Apple and Android app stores. Again, your state, your teams, your ESPN. Download the all-new ESPN Wisconsin app today. The 11 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch starts in 2 minutes, so stick around.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Welcome to the Chevy Lightning Round. Guess the clues to win. First team, you're up.
Powerful, commanding, unstoppable.
Silverado.
Adventurous, fun, techie.
Trailblazer.
Stylish, nimble.
Tracks.
Innovative, electric.
Blazer EV. Lightning Round champions. You've guessed all the right Chevy clues.
Wherever the year takes you, explore it together in the Chevy of your choice. See your Badgerland Chevy dealer today.
Hi, this is Dave Kane. You're listening to Madison's Home of the Bucks, a good Karma brand radio station, 100.5 ESPN WTLX, Monona, Madison.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good morning, Madison and streamers everywhere. I'm Jesse Nelson. Sports Center brought to you by Stoughton Health, providing experienced physicians, nurses, therapists, technicians, and staff for personalized, forward-thinking expert healthcare. Stoughton Health, trusted care close to home. The Milwaukee Brewers in search of their first sweep of the 2025 season, and they'll try to do so this afternoon hosting the Houston Astros. Brewers 4-3 winners last night. A Jake Bauers 2-run home run in the first inning, part of a 4-run first. All the crew needed offensively in the 4-3 victory. So they go for the sweep this afternoon. 12:10 first pitch. Pre-game coverage starts just after 11:30, about 30 minutes from right now, right here on Madison's new home of the Brewers, 100.5 ESPN. Those wanting to stay with Wilde and Tausch or catch the majority of Kyle Bruston Nortman this afternoon can do so streaming on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel and on the ESPN Wisconsin app. One Brewers note from Brewers writer Adam McCalvey, covers the Brewers at MLB.com. An update from last night, the Brewers' William Contreras, catcher, does have a fracture of his middle finger on the catching hand. It's an old fracture that's bothered him for some time, and he'll continue to play through it. We're playing through no Tausch on Wilde and Tausch right now.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
Hour of Wilde and Tausch. Without Tausch, and soon without Jesse, but with Josh.
We're dropping like flies.
But I'll be, God willing, if the creek don't rise, I'll be here for everything. Jesse, I do want to say publicly, not sarcastically, thank you for your service. And I am getting a lot of this, and look, I am very thankful for my lengthy career at the State Journal. While I am a grudge holder in a lot of ways, I'm not holding that one against them. It's a challenging time in our world for journalism. I've kept my subscription that I pay for. I hope more people subscribe because I do think newspapers are important. But I have gotten a lot of folks who didn't read my work previously because they had to pay for it, who now, because it is ad-supported for free on channel3000.com, have become much more avid readers.
Every day.
So thank you.
Right there.
I appreciate having you on board, you and many, many others. Because I do want them to think over at Channel 3000 that, hey, this guy doesn't suck. We're glad we have him on our team. And so I wrote earlier this week about Christian Watson.
Read that one.
Our Sunday read was Matt LaFleur talking about guys having personalities like Warren Brinson and John Williams. Some might say it's the Booger story.
I read that one.
John Williams.
Concerning.
Had a projectile come flying out of his nose during our interview.
Dazzling detail.
It was dazzling. We've got the Canadian import story about the Heisman Trophy for Canadian football. I got a little bit of pushback from one Canadian fan who said that Canadian college football is better than Division III college football in the States. That was based on something that Jim Nagy, who ran the Senior Bowl for a very long time, said. And look, by the way, there's some damn good football played at the Division III level right here in Wisconsin. So I did not see that as a slight, but this Canadian reader, who also got it for free, had that opinion. But today, this was fun. Savion Williams and Matthew Golden both informed us earlier in the week, or late last week, that they almost played together in college. Now, I would love it if you would read the story anyway, even though I'm going to tell you a little bit about it. Savion Williams hosted Matthew Golden on his recruiting visit to TCU. But hey, guys go on recruiting visits all the time, right? You go to see all the different schools that are interested in you. Matthew Golden, 10 days after his visit with Savion Williams, committed to TCU, was ready to go there. Then they let the coach know that he wasn't going to be back in 2022, so then he reopened his recruitment, got a ton of offers, wound up at Houston, then wound up at Texas last year, and now has wound up in Green Bay, where he is the first-round pick, and lo and behold, the third-round pick is Savion Williams, who hosted him at TCU. So, Jesse, you know I love stuff like that. The most important thing is that both of them are good players. That's a cute, as Tausch would say, that's a cute story and all.
That's a cute story there.
But they obviously have to be productive as well, and we delve into that part of the story a little bit later. But you read that, so thank you for reading that. Does that prompt you to have more questions, though, about where the wide receiver position is in Green Bay?
It does, because I have questions about the other guys. Because Matthew Golden is the new fun toy that everyone wants to see out of the box and see what it can do and all that stuff. And Savion Williams, he could be a special teams player and he might have an impact as a wide receiver. And they're bolstering that. They use 2 of their top 3 picks on wide receivers. That's awesome. What does it mean for Dontavian Wicks? What does it mean for Romeo Doubs? I think I know what it means for Bo Melton, most likely. Those are Doubs. Because of what happened last year, the tone changed on him. Wicks, we were hoping, would not go into a sophomore slump, but would elevate to become one of the top targets last year. That didn't happen. So is drafting these receivers and hearing about their potential and how excited Matt LaFleur is to have them as part of the offense, is that an indictment at all of Romeo Doubs and of Tay Wicks and basically everybody, and maybe including Christian Watson? Doesn't seem like that's the same because of the injury that's going to keep him out. But what's the status of the incumbent wide receivers with the addition of these new rookies?
All right, let's start with Romeo first, because Caleb on Twitter brought this to my attention. So and I'll get, this is going to seem a little circuitous, but you'll understand in a second. So the Pittsburgh Steelers today traded George Pickens to the Cowboys.
3rd-round pick.
Now, there is a belief, but they're sending a 6th back, and there's a whole, and he didn't get a new contract. I don't know what's going on. But they are expected to add Aaron Rodgers as their quarterback, okay? So Connor Orr of Sports Illustrated says, I wonder if Pittsburgh is now going to raid the Rodgers-approved overage of Green Bay's receiving room after the Packers double-dipped at the position in the draft. Okay, so follow their thinking here. Then Albert Breer retweets this, Albert Breer of the MMQB at Sports Illustrated, and says, Aaron Rodgers was very fond of Romeo Doubs when they were together. I don't think that's true. And Caleb sent that along to me saying, hey, is this accurate? I don't think that's true. If you remember, Romeo had that unforgettable line about how I learned a lot from Aaron Rodgers, even though he barely spoke to me.
You did like that one.
And then I reached out to Rodgers, who then in turn said, look, I had lunch with him a bunch. I tried to connect with him. I don't think that Aaron Rodgers is going to be, if he ends up in Pittsburgh as expected, is going to be pushing for them to acquire Romeo Doubs. That said, I think Romeo Doubs, as I've said many times on this program, is going into a season in which if he balls out, he's going to get paid, and it's going to be by someone else. And maybe I'm wrong, and I'm always open to being wrong. But my gut tells me that the Packers, after last year, between the concussions and not coming to work, are going to be reluctant to entrust him with a long, lucrative extension because of that. Okay, so that's the Romeo scenario. And again, I don't know if there's anything to this, but as Matt Schneidman of The Athletic poured through all the photos that Evan Siegel took when they started their on-field work for Phase 2, Romeo Doubs wasn't in any of the pictures either. So that may mean nothing. It may mean something. That said, that's Romeo's situation. So would they trade him? Maybe that'll be good news for Bo Melton, right? I mean, he gets to stick around. We've talked about Christian Watson earlier in the show making progress from his ACL and hopefully being back. Maybe he thinks he'll be back before November. That's still my expectation. But the two guys you're really talking about, Jesse, are Jaden Reed and Dontavion Wicks.
Yeah, Reed I'm not as concerned about. I don't know if that's misguided or not, but I feel like there's still optimism around his role in the offense. But maybe I'm wrong about that. You tell me.
No, I think there's still a confidence in him, but we have to figure out how to get him more involved and more productive after the second half of last season. I think that's Matt LaFleur's thought. And he did make the comment that he was pretty banged up. He's not a big dude. Like, he's athletic, he's strong, but he's not a huge guy. He's kind of like Randall Cobb that way. And he kind of felt like maybe they needed to figure out smarter ways to utilize him. Like, I don't know, maybe don't send him around the end on a jet sweep or an end around to get blasted near the goal line.
It is a popular one. Yeah.
And, hey, Savion Williams, who is 6'4", 222, and is a guy that has run the football extensively at TCU, maybe that's his role. So you don't have to do that with Jaden Reed and get him walloped anymore. But the fact remains he wasn't super productive in the second half of last season. On the flip side of that, Dontavion Wicks, who was a drop-a-palooza, turned around and in the second half of last season was much better in that department. He fixed that problem. So we will see what he does this coming season when he gets his opportunities. But it's a weird deal, man. There's no two ways about it.
It's already starting to feel like the preseason to me when we start saying, oh, look at this guy. Oh, this Bo Melton. He's pretty good. Look at all the catches he can make. And I forget who some of the names have been over the years who have come through and have made plays in a preseason game or in training camp. We're like, wow, there's got to be room for this guy in the offense. And then we get to cut day and they're not on the team anymore. And they move on and we never hear from them again. And it's like, oh, okay, what were we doing? We got all caught up in that. Like, there's not enough room for all of these guys to be impact players this season on the roster, and I wonder what that means for some of the veterans who have been around for a couple of years now that haven't taken that next step. That's the question that I have in all this commentary about how excited everybody is about the two new receivers coming to town.
Well, and let's make sure that we're not getting ahead of ourselves either on the wide receiver thing. Like, Matthew Golden is still going to be a rookie. Savion Williams is still going to be a rookie. And that it does take some time for those types of players to evolve. Now, if Matthew Golden's not having an impact as a rookie, then they've got real problems. There's no question about that, right? You don't draft the guy in the first round to have him be a 12-catch guy on the season. And I don't think that'll be the case, but their expectations are for him to be impactful right away. I don't know what Savion Williams is, because we can talk all puppy dogs and ice cream and seashells and balloons about how awesome his diverse skill set is. But he's a third-round pick, and that he could be great, right? He could be James Jones, because they Drafted him in the 3rd round. Look how good he turned out to be. Amari Rodgers was a 3rd-round pick, too, who had return ability and running ability and everything else, and that was a complete failure. So let's be careful about how many eggs we put in that basket. All right, Jesse, before we switch to Milwaukee, we need to play trivia.
That is correct, and it is Wisconsin Geography Wednesday, which I know Tausch will be disappointed to not be part of, but
and it
that's
is
the break.
Of course, presented by Vortex Golf as well. All right, let's take caller 9. Caller 9, 844-770-3776. Caller 9, 844-770-3776 to play Wilde and Tausch Trivia. It is Wisconsin Geography Wednesday. I want to remind you, here's a geography thing for you. The Orpheum Theater is in Madison, and you're going to want to be there on June 26th to join Frank Kaminsky, Sam Decker, Coach Bo Ryan, and more for an intimate night at the Orpheum in Madison to celebrate the 10-year anniversary of the 2015 Wisconsin men's basketball team and their run to the national championship game. Tickets are on sale right now at uwhoops2015.com. That's uwhoops2015.com. Trivia is next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Mark Tauscher here for Zimbrick Chevrolet, the name you can trust. There is nothing like a great summer road trip. And whether you're traveling around the state or around the country, it's the time of year to start thinking about your plans to hit the road for a new adventure in the coming months. And with all the things to consider, what to do, how to get there, where you'll stay, the absolute last thing you want to worry about for a summer road trip is car trouble. Make sure your vehicle is ready to take on every potential challenge thanks to the fantastic service team at Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie. Get a tune-up, check the battery, check your tires, change the oil, and make sure all the inner workings of your vehicle are in tip-top shape so you can focus on fun and not finding maintenance help during your summer road trip this year. Call Zimbrick Chevrolet to schedule an appointment with their incredible service team or check out their services and schedule an appointment online at ZimbrickChevrolet.com. Zimbrick Chevrolet on Main Street in Sun Prairie, the name you can trust.
To those who've ever dreamt of their perfect event, those dreams are worthy and they are possible. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With hard work, passion, and great music, we will make your event dreams a reality. Every event is a labor of love with one-on-one planning, customization, and flawless execution. Bringing your event to life is what we do. For a fun, memorable event, visit celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
Your Pella experience starts with a free in-home consultation.
It was a really comfortable kitchen table chat. We knew Pella was going to get it right the first time, and they designed a project with us. They didn't just replace our windows and doors.
There are so many options that are available, so it was nice to have someone narrow those down, and they made sure that the design was what we wanted.
Don't wait. Get 0% financing for up to 6 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply. It's 5/31/2025.
From color-changing alexandrite to shimmering zircon and everything in between at Chalmers Jewelers, you'll find high-quality, affordable, one-of-a-kind pieces. We source straight from the gem cutters, and we manufacture in-house from start to finish. As the manufacturer, we believe in truth in pricing. Never pay more for quality and stunning, beautiful jewelry. She's one of a kind, and so should her jewelry be. While others may send your jewelry dreams to someone else to make, with us, your dreams become reality with the help of our custom jewelers, with you involved the whole way. With a staff that has over 200 years of combined experience, why buy from a place that marks up jewelry made by the thousands? When you can buy direct from Chalmers for that one-of-a-kind piece that is better quality, often for less.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
And Madison.
Jim Rutledge here, and I want to tell you about the Bruce Company, Dane County's premier retailer of outdoor furniture. They'll help you elevate your outdoor living space like they have for me. Exceptional craftsmanship, all the latest styles, colors, and durable materials that hold up to whatever Wisconsin weather brings. From deep seating to dining, pick your set and the Bruce Company will customize it to fit your style. Visit their furniture showroom in Middleton and let their trained staff help you bring your outdoor dreams to life. The Bruce Company, your outdoor living experts. Free Food Friday on ESPN Madison is brought to you by Vintage Brewing Company. Whether you're looking to get carry-out, delivery, or dine-in, Vintage Brewing has lots of great options on their menu. Vintage Brewing Company prides themselves on being a great place to hang out and enjoy classic Midwestern hospitality. Vintage Brewing Company has multiple award-winning beers, so be sure to try one the next time you're in. Head to vintagebrewingcompany.com to make a reservation today. That's vintagebrewingcompany.com.
Wilde and Tausch on 100.5 ESPN is brought to you by Everlight Solar. Save money, save the planet. Everlight Solar.
Time for trivia. Tausch free trivia. Am I still having video problems, Jesse?
Yeah, it looks like it.
I don't understand why I could see me. I look great, by the way. This nice hat.
I believe you. Sorry.
A system you running over there.
Let's just put this up. What the heck? Everything's all discombobulated today anyway.
It's quite a day. There's no doubt about it. Let's welcome in our contestant in one of my favorite cities in the world, DeForest, Wisconsin. Go Norskies. It is Steve. Steve, good morning. How are you?
I am great. How are you guys?
Well, we're good, but we'll see how you're doing after this trivia contestant opportunity for you. Because, of course, trivia is presented by Vortex Golf.
Wilde and Tausch Trivia is brought to you by Vortex Golf. Rangefinders you can bet on.
So you will have a chance to win one on Friday, depending on how many entries you've got, when we draw our winner of the Vortex Golf Rangefinder. Question 1, Steve, is this. When Tausch and Jesse drive together from Madison to Rockford tomorrow to get to the Hard Rock Casino for our show, which interstate will they primarily travel upon? Will it be I-39, I-41, or I need a Coors Light after 2 hours in the car with old T?
I will go 39.
1 for 1, although we would have accepted question 3 or answer 3 as well.
That one would have sufficed.
I will be driving primarily, I believe, on 41 to 151 through Madison because I could see our friend Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment tomorrow to get my photo booth for the big dance. And it looks like it's a horse apiece from Green Bay to go through Milwaukee or to go through Madison. So I look forward to that 3-hour drive tomorrow. All right, question 2, Steve, is this. Longitudinally, which of these Wisconsin golf courses, each home to an ESPN Wisconsin golf outing this year, is located the farthest west? Farthest west. Is it Old Hickory Golf Course, The Bog, or TPC, Wisconsin?
I will go TPC.
2 for 2. Jesse, which events are at these respective courses?
Steve's 2 for 2, getting the benefit of being in the Madison area. He knows both of these. So Old Hickory Golf Course is in Beaver Dam, host to the Radiothon golf outing that they'll be having in just a couple of weeks. The Bog in Saukville, home to the ESPN Milwaukee Open, and TPC Wisconsin in the Madison area, home to both the ESPN Madison Open in August as well as this year's American Family Insurance AmFam Championship.
Wow. A lot of action. All right, Steve. Chance for a clean sweep here. Question 3 is this. Sharing its name with a former Brewers catcher, which of these Wisconsin villages is located near Tomah on Highway 71?
Tausch would love this question.
It is a good question. I have to say I like it a lot. Is it Moeller, Kendall, or Lucroy, Wisconsin?
Kendall.
Jason Kendall is the catcher. Kendall is the tout. Steve, you're 3 for 3. That means you got 4 entries. You got a really good chance at that Vortex rangefinder. And as an assistant golf coach, I wish you nothing but good luck on that.
I totally appreciate it. You guys do a great job at what you do. And let's go Brewers.
Chance for a sweep right here.
Steve wasn't even here for trivia. He's here for the Brewers game coming up next on 100.5 ESPN.
Tuning in early. Yeah. So, again, you can listen to the Brewers go for their sweep of the Astros on 620 WTMJ in Milwaukee, the flagship of your Milwaukee Brewers. You can also listen to it on 100.5 ESPN Madison as we will be departing, exiting stage left for Wilde and Tausch for the pregame coverage going into Brewers Astros. And if you want to stick around with me, even though apparently I'm not on video, and Josh DiMaggio, well, you'll be able to do that too because ESPN Milwaukee, the ESPN Wisconsin app, the YouTube channels will all have that moving forward. No Jesse, though, so that'll be good news for you. If you experience some bad news and you're injured in an accident, well, then there's only one call to make. Gruber offices, one call, that's all. Hopefully you never have to make the call, but if you do, they're the ones to call, the best in the business. They've got all kinds of victories to prove it, and, of course, when you want to win this battle, you want to have the best team available, and that's Gruber offices. One call, that's all. 414-276-6666. 414-276-6666. Go to the website, gruber-law.com. All right, Jesse, I bid you a fond farewell. I will give you the last word as we transition to Josh DiMaggio and ESPN Milwaukee.
What's tough about this is I'm still going to be able to hear the show, and there's probably going to be some slander coming my way that I'm not going to appreciate very much, especially if Joshy wants to throw me under the bus for claiming the Jen, Gabe, and Chewy Wisconsin Broadcasters Award the other day. Something tells me that might come up. So I would like to preemptively get in front of that and say, you're welcome to
That's
Jen, Gabe,
next.
and Chewy, and everyone.
It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, driven by Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie on 100.5 ESPN. See their full inventory at ZimbrickChevrolet.com.
Mark Tauscher here for Pizza Hut, a place I've loved going back to the days when I was a kid participating in their legendary Book It program. Man, I loved Pizza Hut back then, and I love creating new Pizza Hut memories with my family now. And right now, Cheesy Bites Pizza is back at Pizza Hut. For just $13.99, you can get a large pizza with 28 pullable, poppable, cheese-filled bites. And even better, it comes with the Ranch Lover's Flight, featuring 3 bold new dips: Ultimate Ranch, Chipotle Ranch, and Pepperoni Ranch. That's a lot of ranch. 1 large pizza, 3 dips, endless flavor. Ready to dip into deliciousness? Well, hurry in or order online today at pizzahut.com. And remember, no one out-pizzas the Hut.
Sports Center updates on 100.5 ESPN are brought to you by Metro Kia of Madison. Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or visit metrokiaofmadison.com.
Have you seen them yet?
Seen what?
4 different ways to say I love you.
I'd love to see those. Show me the list.
What list?
The list of 4 different ways to say I love you.
Let's start over.
Where are you going, Monica?
I'm going to get the 4 different ways to say I love you.
Sarah, imagine a box of assorted chocolates.
Okay.
When you open the lid, what do you see?
I see a guy sitting on a park bench saying, "Life is like a box of chocolates."
But what are the shapes of the chocolates?
There are 4 different shapes.
Here they are.
Those are gorgeous.
4 diamond pendants covered in diamonds.
Almost like they were dipped in diamonds.
And each diamond was created inside a miniature star.
But you'd have to be rich to afford one of these.
Choose the diamond pendant you like best. $148.
I love Kessler's.
Everyone loves Kessler's.
For the location of the visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Wild Rock Golf in the Wisconsin Dells, a must-play every golf season. Wild Rock Golf features championship golf in the heart of Wisconsin. Wild Rock, a Herdston Fry masterpiece that's cut from the natural beauty of the Wisconsin Dells and offers stunning views from elevated tee boxes. Wild Rock presents spectacular greens that roll fast and true. Wild Rock Golf in the Wisconsin Dells, a unique gem that offers a challenge to avid golfers of all abilities. Book your tee time today for this must-play at wildrockgolf.com, wildrockgolf.com.
Here in Wisconsin, one name is synonymous with fantastic frozen pizza, Palermo's. For almost 60 years, Palermo's has focused on feeding Wisconsin families. And though Palermo's has grown a lot since 1964, they're still family-owned. They're still proud to call Milwaukee home. And they're still committed to making the best frozen pizza possible. From their new and improved rising crust pizzas to their guilt-free Primo thin pies, Palermo's has a delicious slice for every appetite. Find Palermo's in your local grocer's freezer food aisle. Palermo's, flavor is our family's business.
Seriously injured? Make one call. That's all.
It started with a prediction.
Gonna go out there and play basketball and win.
And how many games?
6.
It became the culture.
Chance of Bucks in 6.
Being a Bucks fan means you live and breathe Bucks in 6. Brandon Jennings created the prophecy. Tune into Behind the Bucks, the story of Brandon Jennings on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and streaming wherever you get your podcasts.
That's for the culture.
Earth Justice is a national legal nonprofit defending the environment and people's health. Until justice stands for all, our lawyers will never rest. More at earthjustice.org/neverrest. Earth Justice, because the earth needs a good lawyer.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Hi, it's us. It's me. I'm the problem. It's me. So just to recap, the only person who have been on today's show from start to finish is me. We had Tausch for 2 hours from Vegas. We had Bulaga and Homer join us, as they do every Wednesday. We had Jesse until now, and now we welcome in, wearing his wildly unpopular old-school Brewers hat that they did away with, which they should have never gone to begin with. Are we going to fight about this?
I think
it is Josh DiMaggio from the Gruber Office's One Call That's All Studios.
This is my favorite of the Brewers logos. It has behind the old school one. I think this is their best. I like it even more than the ball and mitt. I think that one stays best as an alternative. I think this is the best iteration of the Brewers logo.
That strikes me as a controversial take. Are you making up these people that agree with you?
Well, it's a few people I've seen on Twitter say something similar. So
small.
Take that.
That's
right.
a small group.
We're a small vocal minority. Also, I do have to issue another correction. I have been on the show the entire time as well, just not vocally standing. I've been behind the board here since 7 a.m. and now it's 11:30. So I'm here.
Okay, well, yeah, yes, and you've been in attendance. That's fair.
I'm pushing buttons back here.
Well, thanks. That's we do need. So speaking of pushing buttons, push the button for whoa, Joshy.
If the topic is good, the guys discuss.
Just the other morning I had breakfast at Tracy Rocker's house. His mama brought out 15 flapjacks. He said, Mama, take back 5 of them flapjacks. I gotta stay hungry for the Crimson Tide.
But if it's not, the show must go on. It's time for
Whoa, Nelly!
On Wilde and Tausch.
Now, Joshy, we're happy to have you.
Yes.
But is Jesse right in his prediction that there will be some criticism of him for the way he handled accepting a major award on behalf of you, Jen Latta, Gabe Neitzel, and Mark Chimura as winners at the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association Thanksgiving Gala based on the what they're standing in front of.
There it is. I was going to say, the one criticism I have of Jesse in this is the context I was given. I actually, rare occasion here, will side with Jesse. He was kind of just thrown up to go up there, and I think people thought it would be funny to see Jesse accepting an award that wasn't for him. He seems a little too proud. That smile he has in that picture, if you didn't know better, you would think he had won that trophy. That is a guy right there who, despite not doing anything with Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, is like, good for me. I really put in a lot of effort for this one. The real criticism I have is him not even entering, you guys. What's the guy doing here? That's the biggest critique. I'm mad for you more so than I'm mad for us because, hey, we still get the trophies. We still get the recognition. We just didn't get the photo op.
And by the way, for him to then claim that it's a flawed approach by our company, that the producers are in charge of this.
Well, I mean, Jason, we know the answer and the why that's
not surprising, right? Not surprising. Okay.
Right, because how else is he going to make it someone else's fault?
Okay, well, we could go on and believe that Tausch and I would have won all kinds of major awards for midday shows had we just been entered. You can't lose if you don't enter, I believe were Jesse's famous words on that. So, okay, we didn't lose, but we didn't win either. Whoa, Josh!
Jason, how familiar are you with the Deep Thought? And not Deep Thought, the idea. Deep Thought, the ship that was stranded since around October on the shores of Bradford Beach that became somewhat of a monument here in the city for many people. Have you followed along with this story at all?
I had not until yesterday when they were removing it at Bradford Beach. I had no idea that it even existed. I was thinking when I was a kid back in like 1977, somewhere in there, I remember there was a large like cargo ship that was moored off the coast of Milwaukee. Because I grew up in Milwaukee, and I remember, like, I know that somewhere in all of our storage is like a photo album with a picture of like 5-year-old me standing on the shore, and there's this giant ship in the background. It's a Polaroid photo of a large ship that had become stuck. So I thought that was something like this. At first, when you mentioned it yesterday, that's what I thought it was. And then it's like this little dinghy. And apparently, I read all about it. So for those of you that were uninitiated like me until yesterday, the owners, I don't know if they ran out of gas or they became they just got up onto the shallow water, but it got stuck.
Yes. So there's
they abandoned ship.
Yes, there's even more intrigue there because nobody really knew what had happened for many, many months. And then I believe in the last month or so, this became like a monument on Google Maps. So you could put in Deep Thought Milwaukee, and it would direct you to where it was in the city. The owner of the ship, one of the two, it's a couple, left a Google review and detailed her time that they had that fateful October day, to which she tells a shipwreck tale that, to be quite blunt, seems more fiction than reality.
Okay.
And this is not just me. This is people with sailing experts who have done, because Milwaukee Record did a whole thing about it. They posted the review, and then they had people who are familiar with both Lake Michigan and sailing on it at inclement times. It seems like they ran out of gas, kind of panicked, and then ended up beaching themselves. She tried to say there was like severe winds. She got thrown from the ship. Her husband jumped off the ship to save her. And in that time that she was being saved, they then crashed into the beach there, which, if you know anything about, it doesn't seem to be a logical answer. My thought is, should the city have just left it there and made it a monument? Just keep the ship there. It's stuck there. Just leave it there. People can go see it, take their pictures next to it. Because, I mean, there's been raves at Deep Thought. There's been everything. For whatever reason, this became like one of those little big town stories where everybody was somehow interested in just a marooned ship.
So a couple things. First of all, you mentioned the Milwaukee record. I am not hip and cool. I know that comes as a surprise, but I really like what they do. I'm an avid reader of their site. That it's a neat, it's kind of got a little irreverence to it. I really dig it. So I had seen that as well. I know Matt Wilde, no relation, has the story on the boat being gone now today on their site. But I go there a fair amount. They've got some really cool stuff that they do. So kudos to them. Second of all, I also went to Channel 12 in Milwaukee's site to get caught up on the whole story. And apparently your friend, the woman who was part of the couple that marooned their ship, they didn't have the financial wherewithal then to remove it. So I don't know how that works. Like, if you just decide you can't afford something, you just leave it there?
Well, it doesn't work that way, but they tried.
So are they getting a bill for the removal of this now at some point, I would think?
Yeah, so the large reason it stayed there is because there's been a dispute between the city and the county and who's actually financially responsible. Because as you saw yesterday with the videos, and Adam Roberts from WTMJ was there, I believe, for the full duration.
I saw that, yes. I saw his videos.
It was like roughly 12 hours, I believe it took from start to finish.
That's going to cost somebody.
Yeah, so I believe the county ended up taking responsibility for the cost because the tow company obviously needs to be paid. But I believe they're going to file some sort of lawsuit to recoup the money. But at some point, if you don't have money, if I don't have money and you're suing me, what? I mean, future wages, I guess, is what you're suing me for. Like,
have your wages garnished.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. But yes, that's been largely the debate. I've been fascinated just by mainly I'm leaving my ship here and I'm going back to Mississippi, and well, they can figure it out there over there in Wisconsin.
Yes, bold strategy, Cotton. So now what? I have not caught up today. So I know they were using like cranes and the towing company, and they were gently dropping it onto a special tow truck-ish thing to move it. What happens to it next? Is there like a bidding war to put it in some park? Like, what are they going to do with it?
I have no idea, but I think that would probably be a smart idea to try and recoup some of their money, like make something out of it. Maybe somebody wants to buy it and, I don't know, put it in their land. Like, who knows? But it is just being taken back to the tow lot of the company that towed it for the time being. I don't think there's any determined future for said deep thought.
So deep thought is not exactly the same as this, but there's a similar situation we had here in Green Bay with the Receiver, which is a famous statue that used to be outside the Packers Hall of Fame, which was on the corner of Lombardi and Oneida Streets across from Lambeau Field. Well, of course, we built not we, I had nothing to do with it, but I lived here for it. We built the Resch Expo Center, which is alongside the Resch Arena, the Resch Center for basketball and hockey, etc. And so they tore down the Hall of Fame. They moved it inside Lambeau Field, which was smart when they renovated. And so they had to move the Receiver. And a brew pub in Green Bay took it on, and they moved it from there to downtown Green Bay, and then they repainted it to look like Donald Driver to celebrate his retirement. And so it still stands today down in downtown Green Bay. So I would recommend this could be a great, talking point piece. Yes, that's the word I was looking for, in Milwaukee somewhere. So I don't know, maybe at the Milwaukee Records headquarters they could put it outside there since they've covered the story so effectively.
Whoa, Nelly! I got one quick one here, and it always seems when I fill in, I've got gift questions and gift-giving questions. You're my go-to guy. I don't know if you've realized this, but you've become that when it comes to gift-giving. Because not to inflate your ego or anything here, but you're really good at it, and you have a good system, which I have tried to adopt, probably not as well as you, but, I've tried to take some lessons. So it is my girlfriend's birthday this week, tomorrow, actually. But this weekend, we are going to Chicago. And my conundrum one is, I wake up to come here at 4 in the morning. So I am well out of the house before my girlfriend ever wakes up. Do I wake her up to wish her happy birthday, or do I just let it go and let her sleep and not do anything? I was thinking, and this was a tip from Jen, maybe just leaving like the card I have and the small gift I got her on the counter as like a hey, happy birthday. Because I don't know how to play that. Like when I left for the draft, I also left very early in the morning. And I was like, well, I'm going to be gone for 2 days, but I honestly think you would prefer the sleep rather than me being like, hey, I'm leaving, bye, type thing. Love you, see ya.
All right, so here again, and I appreciate you inflating my ego, because there aren't a lot of things that I'm proud of, but I am pretty proud. Like Tausch can complain all he wants that he didn't feel like I was sufficiently appreciative of the creepy, pre-owned Hansel and Gretel reproduction print that he gave me. Which, again, I don't remember. I'd have to check the YouTube archives if we ever showed it on video. But since he's traveling, it was ugly. Like, no one is hanging this in their home, and definitely not me.
Maybe you're a better gift giver than receiver.
Well, no, this was just a bad gift. Like, when I get a good gift, I'm extremely appreciative. Like, so and especially juxtaposed to my national park blanket, because he loves the national parks and takes the kids there, and then a personalized the Tauscher family national park travels frame that had little windows for each and every park that he could put pictures of the kids in because they visited so many of them. It was a lopsided gift giving. Like, you're not supposed to keep score, but this was like that first round game between Memphis and Oklahoma City.
We've all been there. You put a lot of thought into a gift, even probably spend a little bit more money, and then somebody gives you back something that they clearly picked up on the way over to your house, and you're like, I appreciate the iTunes gift card, but I gave a little more thought to this.
I was at a local thrift shop, and I grabbed that for you.
I stumbled.
So here would be my tip for you, and another great gift giver, my friend John Kerry, has the same plan. I would leave something, like if I were you, I would leave a nice note, not save your card for later. Leave a nice note, hey, thought you'd appreciate the sleep more than the birthday wish waking you up. I love you very much. I'm off to Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Love, Josh. And then I would put together, if it's possible, now you don't want to have things curdling on the counter, but I don't know what she likes to eat for breakfast, but if you could like maybe pour her bowl of cereal for her, the milk is still in the fridge where it should be safe, maybe a little fruit bowl or something, like put together a little breakfast for her that won't go bad in the time she's still sleeping with the note. I think that's the way to start off the birthday, and then you could save your gift to deliver to her in person along with your card when you see her later in the day.
So that's a great idea, but she doesn't wake up for another 3 hours usually. That's when the dog's getting her up.
Yeah, don't leave the milk out
then. And she prefers, recently it's toast, so I don't know if toasting for her is going to be what she's looking for.
So are you saying that toasting bread 3 hours before it's eaten is not what you're looking to do?
No, I don't think so. Maybe I pull the toaster out, the bread, and just leave it all there ready to go and say...
Should go like peanut butter and jelly on that? Just butter?
I think it's just butter, and sometimes if we're feeling crazy, a little peanut butter. The last thing I have here, and we're way over time with our thing, but very quickly,
not really.
We're going to Chicago, and my plan is to take care of the hotel and the 2 meals. Now, there's a bunch of friends coming with us. I think there's going to be upwards of 8. Your friend Eric Kaname will also be in attendance along with...
I love him.
Along with a few other people. So is my gift being the small thing I got, which is like an insignificant amount of money, and taking care of the weekend good enough? Because all told, with hotel room and everything, it's going to be upwards of like $600.
Yeah. I think the experience and being around friends, I think you've done a great job.
Yeah.
So your little trinket or insignificant amount of money, but plenty of thought put into it, I'm sure is a good choice.
Okay. That's what I started to have doubts, after a while. I was like, is this enough? Because just laying down your debit card or credit card is not the same as a thoughtful gift, but it's probably more, all told, than I would have ever bought for a Christmas gift.
And it's going to be a fun weekend with friends in Chicago, which is obviously a great town. So I think you're doing just fine. You guys have been together for a while now, too. So, I'm not saying that you lower your expectations, but you also want more experiences than things at some point in your relationship.
And we're not at the point of, we're trying to make good impressions with gifts. It's more of
too late for that.
Are you doing the requisite effort type of thing? Are you doing what's expected versus wow, you blew me away with this gift you got?
We have that same conundrum because Mother's Day is Sunday, and I'm not sure that the girls and I have done a particularly good job in recent years. So we might need to elevate our game, find some time to take care of that. We also need to find some time to say goodbye because we're almost out of time. We'll wrap things up with Josh DiMaggio, live from the Grubelovs' One Call That's All studios. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Summer's getting closer, and Brewers action at American Family Field is only heating up. Don't miss a Midwestern throwdown between the Brewers and the Twins, May 16th through the 18th. Get a Jedi Jack Centurio Star Wars night bobble with a special theme night ticket on the 16th. Then get here early for an exclusive Brewers cribbage board giveaway for the first 25,000 fans on the 17th. Presented by 620 WTMJ. Get tickets at brewers.com.
Attend Biz Expo May 13th at Brookfield Conference Center and the keynote on resilient leadership, thriving in challenging times. Stay for the strategy seminars and connect with customers. Biz Expo is May 13th. Register at biztimes.com/bizexpo.
Great impressions will exceed your expectations. Great impressions, perceptions, everything.
At Great Impressions Graphics and Printing, they've been proudly serving the community for over 26 years. From their location at the corner of 54th and Burleigh in Milwaukee, their dedication to quality and customer satisfaction has made them a trusted name in printing and design. Great Impressions offer a wide range of services, including banners, posters, yard signs, business cards, programs, and postcards. Plus, they specialize in custom apparel printing, perfect for family reunions, sports outings, business promotions, and more. For your next project, visit greatimpress.com. That's greatimpress.com. Great Impressions. They're here when you need them.
Great impressions, perceptions, everything.
It's time for the Milwaukee Baseball Report on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by National Liquor Mart. Packed with the best beer, liquor, seltzer, and spirits deals in town. Located at 16th and National in Milwaukee. Open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily, where your satisfaction is their plan of action.
The Brew Crew dropped 2 of 3 games over the weekend to their I-94 rival Cubs, getting shut out in Game 1 and only managing 2 runs on Saturday. The Brewers returned the shutout favor with a 4-0 victory on Sunday, helped in large part by Freddie Peralta's 6 scoreless innings, 7 strikeouts, and only 4 hits surrendered. The third-place Brewers will look to get their record over 500, continuing the homestand against their former National League Central foes, the Houston Astros, before hitting the road to face the Rays in Tampa Bay.
This has been the Milwaukee Baseball Report. 5 ESPN, brought to you by National Liquor Mart.
Make plans to stop by Third Ward Beer Garden at Catalano Square. Experience Milwaukee's favorite beer garden, the perfect spot to meet up with friends in the Third Ward. Open Wednesday through Sunday with live music Thursday through Saturday. Good times and great vibes await at Third Ward Beer Garden.
It's a home run! But wait, is your roof ready for the big league storms? If your roof has more holes than a catcher's mitt, it's time to bring in the pros. At Avondale Roofing, we've been handling leaks, repairs, and full replacements with major league precision for over 30 years. And as a GAF Master Elite certified contractor, we bring top-tier quality and proven performance to every job. Whether it's a quick patch-up or full upgrade, our team steps up to the plate and knocks it out of the park every time. You're out! Don't wait till water's in your dugout. Call Avondale Roofing today and keep your home in the win column.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
All right, it was a bit of a herky-jerky show. Thanks to Tausch for pushing through. Thanks to Homer. Thanks to Bryan Bulaga. Thanks to Jesse. Thanks to Josh DiMaggio for running the last half hour, even though he's wrong about Brewers logos. And thanks to you for coming along for the ride with us today. Tomorrow we'll be live from the Hard Rock Casino Rockford. Have a great day. Take care. Be good.
Your Pella experience starts with a free in-home consultation.
It was a really comfortable kitchen table chat. We knew Pella was going to get it right the first time, and they designed a project with us. They didn't just replace our windows and doors.
There are so many options that are available, so it was